So it's 2 minutes to the top of the hour, and I wrote it out till we made $4,000. I added at the blue rectangle on the 1 hour chart. Last night we were right here, and I said, I think I'm going to dump out here. We did hit $3,200 in this window because I wasn't there to get out. Went to sleep and it popped in. We did not get filled on any sell limits up here. You could have taken one here. That's as good as it got. Okay, the fact that it came after this even price pulse, people would say, well, somebody's getting in on that maybe. It's a viable entry. Not everybody's taking that trade. That's not what made the market go down. It's a culmination of people that say, it's going sideways. I don't know if I want to be on this train. This is the 1 hour chart. You keep wicking into this window. Okay, this is gone now, but this did exist last night, and that was the exit I talked to. It's obvious, right? Now, it's not a precise exit. Granted, it's in about a 13 pip zone, but if you can't afford putting 1Ks 1 pip apart to trade a 13K in a 13 pip zone, then you maybe shouldn't be trading like this style. The market maker style where you're getting it. Now, some of these are got to be scalps. You're only looking to make 7 pips. You're going to risk 13 to make 7. You're going to risk 14 to make 10. You can't have everything so fucking greedy, so you need to scalp. Now, this is, somebody mentioned Ryan Brown. Okay, you have to accommodate the whole spectrum of what could happen. Or why bother, right? Now, if you're trying to accommodate every little kernel of every 2.5 pip grid, you're going to buy 100K if you want in a 10 pip zone without repeating the entry and have different exits and have it all. Like if you have a super tight spread, okay, when that ticket gets in, because it is a limit order in the market, just trickles down there for a little bit and it picks up that ticket. Now this means that you can't just build this little energizer bunny that you think you're going to take off and take over the world with and go up against the big banks. You're not going up against any banks. You can see that the banks are short cash. Why? Because they blew it in the market. You have real humans trading at banks. There's no big bank thing. It's just volume. You're trying to ride. This is also this thing I used to get from this guy sending me this signal. What you're gonna do is wait to see what the banks do and then get on. Really gonna wait? They're not waiting. They're always in. So you want to accumulate when it's quiet. And you want to get the fuck out up here. So if I was going to get in sell limits, had I placed sell limits by hand, now here you would place maybe 10K by hand. Okay, you just put 100K in like this. Everything has a different stop, though. You could go hard stop, then you're a swing trader. Like if you go hard stop and you go, I want to pick up, it's kind of like how do you want to distribute your risk? It can be done. It's very easy because you just press a button, basically. Now here, I'd be buying at the market. I would consider this right now at 6 o'clock, 6:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The stop hunt is engaged. We expect a pop to here. Sellers come in. So last night, got out here. Then I came in with limits. And then I bought at the market. I accumulated here with a fairly tight stop. And I wrote it for another $1,000. Then I looked over. I said, well, that ride's over. Sure, you can make money during this noise, but you got to trade very heavy and nail every little zigzag. Right? Once this thing is, okay, this is the honeymoon phase. This is like, if you make that sound one more time, I'm going to kill you. This is like, I'm just so bored with you. I think that's what's blowing people's brains is that this trend line breaks, whoosh, 3 hours clean down. Dead cat bounce, gets back on its feet, goes sideways. Now we traded. You could have also made the argument that you could have drew the trend line there. You could have drawn a trend line there in real every hour it's dropping. You just have to go trend line, or you have a robot, or you just the moving averages are starting to turn over here. Don't forget, a 8-period moving average is probably the perfect moving average for this. You could say, oh yeah, well on this one, man, a little trapped on the short side. That robot kind of thought it was going to keep tanking. So yeah, you built this now. Unless you have adaptive moving averages, and maybe that's what kind of Bollinger Bands is trying to do is. We're going to scrunch down on this. We're going to get a Bollinger Band tightening just because everything went sideways drift. But when you pop in this window and then this top becomes a bottom here, and there's the last stop hunt on the 1 hour. But are you babysitting this? Are you placing pendings on this wick? You don't have to, because what you do is when the market's here, and I don't know if we went down here and then ended up here, but at some point we were at least here. In a Goldilocks entry, you have to size this. That's the trick. You got to go, I'm going to buy like this on all those shelves. I have enough money to bail out this bank at 20%. So this funny thing is the banks are having to pay up for they are now on the credit watch list. So it's so cute. And what comes around goes around. So if they're going to scrutinize you and charge you fees, and of course this is all brought about by the government regulation, the banks are trying to adapt. They're just people, in their slow motion lag. People, they're, oh, you know what, we're losing on that. I always loved when they would say, we just declared it's a recession because we've lost 4 quarters in a row, or whatever the fucking standard is for that stupid ass standard. What the fuck is that? You're going to tell me you expect Mother Nature to just plod along and it's like a 200 period moving average and just, can't you see what's going on? Okay, you're not going to make much money if you're just trying to trade as a directional trader. That's why option traders exist. And the good ones make money because they know, okay, volatility's drying up. Let's fucking lock in a hedge on options. And maybe you're writing them. Well, you're writing them after the big wave 3. You're going to write an option. So you're going to have this, you're counting on the market not doing anything, so it decays. The premium decays for the retail guy that bought it without any risk, but you wrote it. So the guy that blew up the natural gas, he was writing this shit. He was on the other side of the trade. So the big boys are on the other side of the trade anyways. The retail traders got it made. I don't even know what this whole stupidity about, 90% of traders lose. Yeah, but I mean, it's like if you bought a gun and you had it set to like standard lot, that's like a bazooka. No wonder you're getting in trouble, right? I mean, can you really afford to take out a wall? I mean, where are you doing your target practice? I guess you get a simulated hammer that replicates. You could just get a video screen and something that has the same kind of pump as that thing, right? I'm sure there's a digital joystick for that now, right? But here right now, there's kind of I guess I'd be pushing the top become a bottom here, but to me it's like, we got a top become a bottom, we break out, we trap in here. Are we going up here tonight? I mean, there's only 2 fucking things that could possibly happen in the next fucking 8 hours here. We're either going to break this line, we're gonna trap here, we're going to weasel here, we're going to take off. Or we're going to trade sideways, might drip down, might go after this, might come back to here. So there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm flat, I'm going to rinse and repeat. They could come down here, but I mean, fuck. Hit a button, drop 20Ks on each one of these. I mean, the banks, I don't think they're trading micro lots. I mean, actually, to churn that, to get out of this position, this morning it took a minute, 2 minutes. It was like to unravel. I think it was about 220K. And then just be like, that's it. We filled this vacuum. I want out. I'm not going to sit here through this treading water bullshit. I know it's going to tread water. So then immediately I went to the euro and I go, I'm just going to buy the euro now. The euro's plunging. I'm just like to find things that are plunging and put my trap in. That's my strategy. I would say from the crudest limit out entry strategy, but the other strategy that I'm working on is the I don't know where it's going to go. It's dead. Let's just straddle it with a hedge. And having that option makes it easier to trade at the market with the market orders, right? You could also build a hedge at the market. Buy when it's down, sell when it's up. You got two stops. You're up on the trade. You're locked into a winning hedge. You have to let the market weave you in, but you just have to have the buy and sell button available. Now, I typically don't have that because I'm trying to write the buy side in a how would I get in if I was only allowed to enter in one doorway, because my exit has to be where the seller window is. Should be. So that I can maximize that price pulse and just get the fuck out and go flat. And when it goes sideways for wave 4, which 80% of the market's wave 4, I mean, you could trade that, but very heavily, I got some issues here, very heavily with the, man, this guy's getting all medieval on the landscaping out here. But I don't want to stop the tape as I'm ranting about what's possible just from the buy side only, because the depth of market that people talk about is like depth of your tickets. And right now I'm really barely even, I'm up $7. Okay, so now that I've got to $4,000, I'm basically saying we left the launch pad, we can go into orbit. There's the flat earthers would say we just go sideways for a long time in a balloon. And we just relax. Now, between the dollar yen and the euro to the dollar, which is the most liquid pairs, really, I'd say, and if you wanted to throw the euro to the yen in there, you've really got to trade very lightly there because it's really vicious. So now in the guppy, it's really, really vicious. It's about 4x, I would say, 4 times the cost of doing business, because of the spread can get really brutal in Asia. And if you're still holding a swing trade, you'll see your equity kind of sag a little bit and wondering what the fuck's going on. Like, I mean, once you get into various sizes, it would occur to you, with the real money, of course, that, wow, that's a lot of money to be down. Watching for rogue waves, it doesn't help either. But, if you don't have your stops, right, it's a problem. But if you got stops in there, you're taking that risk up front. So the rinse and repeat factor, it's been, it's having a trade plan for conditions, pip-wise. Market's not going anywhere, let's get in. Market's going somewhere, am I chasing? That's my only thoughts. Am I chasing because I want to get in and, like, if I get excited, like, oh, it's going up, maybe you buy a little bit, but Jesus, they're probably going to pull it back. And if you get in very thickly in a 1 pip apart every 15 minutes, like very aggressive, like playing games with the market, I suppose, if you're going to be there to repull the trigger every hour. So imagine you have a robot that comes in, and all he does is, and I got that robot actually, all he does is he comes in, and I've done these tests where it's just a completely objective sampling of price. It has nothing to do with moving averages. It just keeps spitting out the same stupid buy limit array. And in a weekly situation, with a 200 pip stop and a 3 pip stop, it makes quite a bit of money, depending on conditions. Now, when the ATR dies down, that robot's never engaged from that standpoint. And at that point, what these people are doing in this fucking yard here, man. Anyways, fuck. I mean, these guys are killing me out here. I mean, this is going to town. I gotta go ask what these guys are doing. Oh my God, some optic fiber asshole. We need the sports announcer here. For how the banks are just cleaning up on us retail guys. God, I'm getting trapped in these trades, breakout trades again every fucking time. All right, so looks like we trapped here. I'm still buying down here. All the way down. 25 pip grid to me is pretty good. You can make your 5 pips, your 7, your 8, and your 9, and your 10. Let it stream out. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not going to make this unless you had a few greedy ones in that explosion. I just think that's the ultimate, is to be at least 5, 6 levels of bullish or bearishness. Like you're 20% long, you're 80% long. You've got a hedge on with 10% against it. And as long as the spread doesn't get in the way and the frequency of trading doesn't get in the way, yeah, you got a pretty good performing system. The Holy Grail thing is definitely creeps into your mind, thinking that, well, what if I just tweak the one I got, and just optimize it and back tested it a little bit more? Maybe that's going to be the answer. So I don't know, I'd say you really got to find what you feel comfortable with. I do like the big giant moves. Try to get that dead cat bounce in a buy situation, because that seems like an obvious kind of like when you break the pool balls, or there's balls that are right near the pocket. You want to get those in, get them out of the way. Those are the obvious trades. Those are the scalps. And then you're like, well, what's the big picture? Are we going to retest? Are we stuck here? People say they like to see the pain that people have and the pain in the market. You can see the retail trader's dilemma. You can see his trade. You can see the people in the Discord talking about that kind of trade. Well, I'm getting the ATRs not agreeing with there's no agreement. Well, I mean, the market certainly doesn't know you exist, so the idea of, your indicators agreeing with each other, for God's sakes. And people are trying to pick a slow indicator. That's the old trick, right? You get the no nonsense, puts it up with you get an MACD, and then you do an MACD of MACD, and then you make a histogram in that, and you go, oh, look how that's just, look at that little slice. Yeah, but are you literally going to pull the trigger on that slice? What if it slices lower? Are you going to religiously pull the trigger? Are you going to miss it on the day or it's market's crazy ATRs, and you're like, yeah, but God, look at this thing. It's like saying do this, like, how do these people do it? I just say, fucking, just take the risk, man. Just say, oh, I got 13 pip stops. Do you understand? I always try a 13 pip stop. Now, if somebody said that, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, you must really be changing your size or your frequency, because I don't know if you could live off a 13 pip stop. I guess you could. Trying to make 21 pips all day. So it's a fucking, but when we see the insane moves on the market, you're thinking, God, can I make money on that fucking nutty shit where it's just like screaming up and people are like, eh, and then it just turns, drifts, goes and plunges, engulfs the whole fucking drama of that. It's pretty fucking crazy shit. Now, the only thing that explains it is it's unfair to fair to balanced, whatever you want to call it, to the ICT blocks. Turn around on a dime there. Of course. But do you really have all the guns? If you're a sniper, do you have all the guns you need to attack this market? Babysit it. Never go to sleep. Now, in Asia, you could put on a position, go to sleep, and go, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I got a hedge in. Ratios are 10 to 1. I got scalps in there. I'll just let it go. Maybe you do watch it on your phone, and maybe you just go flat on the whole thing. If you get spooked, there's no shame in just closing all open and pendings. I haven't been able to do that very much because I'm too stubborn, so I just want to see how it plays out. Win, lose, or draw, I'm not going to bail on the whole trade plan, especially if the broker's going to freak out when he says, oh, you're just cooking our servers because you just fucking took everything off, all your pendings off. You keep doing that. So I usually ride out the storm, and that's when I was trading without stops, I did that. I would just add to the account. If I thought that, it's flashing red at 500 to 1 leverage, just add to the account, just ride it out, and then make like $3,000. You're down like 300 or you're down 500, and you're like, yeah, I got in early, so fuck them. And then I just add to the account and ride it out. And then, I always had the dream of, if I could just get a system I could trust, and I go, oh, I built this thing, I back tested it, or at least I back tested just by visually looking at the chart and go, I get in here, 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 here. That's all back testing I would need. This idea that meticulously, you can kind of, if you can't tell by looking at the fucking indicator how it performs, then that's another issue, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe I spent too much time looking at this shit, but it's like, holy fuck. It's like when you see that your engine's overheating, you're like, yeah, look at this. This is like a problem here. Like if the indicator's saying sell because it's overbought, but the market keeps on smashing you and destroying you because you're selling because it's overbought. Yes, I get the problem with that. Who doesn't? This is why breakout trading or just turtle trading, where you just keep buying high and selling higher, buying high and selling, you just chase. Yeah, that works sometimes too. But you couldn't chase all your whole life, because when the market backs up, you're in so fucking big. You kind of have to be in really big if it's screaming, right? And then you're out. The other option is you wait till the market relaxes. It gets all drifty. People are like, I don't know. Try to build something there with tight stops, with big juicy targets. You don't have to wait for the juicy targets. But you got to have those 10 pip winners and those 15 pip winners and those 20 pip winners. Now, when you trade really thick with a fast server, you could just say, oh, I'm going to buy fucking at the market. I'm going to buy a pip above, a pip and a half, a two and a half. Each one of those is going to be like 2Ks. The best results I've seen is if you try to get in crazy, like, oh, that one's going to be a 4K, you're just wasting your time. You just duplicated a bad trade. Each 1K needs to be its own individual exit. If you're going to build the account, stack it, because I've done it on nano accounts, and it's tremendous with a tight spread and a good broker. It's a tremendous amount of money right out the gate. As soon as the market breaks out, now this would be, the market's really dead, and you're stacking these up, and the market only has to tip 3.5 pips, and it's already out of 20% of that script, and then another pip, and it's out again. And you'd be surprised how that makes up for a bad fill on another ticket. Right? It offsets that other fill, so you're getting it right away. And you have to watch the tick chart for these entries, though. So you're staring at the tick chart of this one instrument you're trading, and that's kind of like how you do it, because you could still put the buy stops in as it's dropping. So you're stacking up buy stops, and you're really very focused on, okay, let's put in a few limits, let's do this. And then you're like, oh, here we go. Just at the market maybe, and you just try to build it there, get into like 85K. It's not hard to do if you've got 20K that's pending below you for 15, 30 minutes, and you got your finger on the trigger, and you're dropping stupid-ass buy stops as the market drifts down. To get picked up on any kind of reversal, and then that first cluster that makes like 5K, 8K, whatever that, okay, you made a little bit of money. You still got exposure with the limits below you. And how deep are you going to run those? Well, in Asia, you can't expect the market to take off. The nice thing about forex is that Asia's quiet, unless there's a hurricane or wiping something out, unless there's really bad things going on, and it could happen. And I would actually expect it to happen. And the nice thing about the 12-hour scripts is they'll pick up the 1-hour spaz along with the 12 hours drift down. So the longer your orders can last, the more you can afford to trade. If you put out the orders there all week, you run a tester, and you'll see if you run everything out there, it picks up stuff that you probably wouldn't want to look at every one of those currency pairs and try to figure out, well, is this like a Fibonacci? It's just dumb shit grid trading, where the pendings last maybe all week, but they're coming in on the contour of the price as it drops. So if they're launching every 8 hours, you're putting in a 3K grid that's like 50, 100, 150 pips deep or something like that, maybe 125. And every week, they last for a week, but every 8 hours they drop, you're going to have 10K per day stacking up, and then you get to like whatever 50K, there's always 50K pending. But the orders are being dropped based on 25 pips from every 8 hours. So it's like if the market moves, then it's actually like, the cloud trading where you shift forward. So it's a one period moving average of the market shifted up and down. If you're going to trade buy and sell limits of that, and you would trade symmetrically there in a limit hedge. So you would have sells above you 25 pips and buys below you 25 pips. Or unless you thought the market was dropping and you just want to turn on the buy limit bot. So that's the other way to look at it. Hey, listen, I want to be a buyer. How can I get in here? And let's just turn on the buy limit bots. Now that would be a decision in direction. And of course, if the market's plummeting, it probably isn't going to it isn't going to fill your sell limits. So maybe you may want to make that distinction and just have a buy limit bot, so to speak, that you know what that thing does. It's like a stupid routine that you don't want to have to do. So there's that option too. And this is having a robot that's so crude that it just does this thing. And I haven't done that yet. When I get the other computer going back, and then I get another, I have to get the other baby computer going. But I'm waiting for it to get like where you can't go outside. And then I'll just have to turn on those. Use the computers to keep warm in the wintertime. So, but that's another way to go. And I've run this stuff, and it's amazing results with the orders that last all week because they're stacking up in a shifted above or below situation. Of course, there I'm running the buy limits and sell limits because I'm not. I'm not going to let the. Well, I guess I would if I'm not watching the chart. So I guess in the real world, I might let it just go, buy limit, sell limit, because I don't want to judge. I don't want to be judgmental, because if I'm not going to watch the Zimbabwe against the Singapore dollar, I guess, and if it's really a swing bot, it's going to be like you have 350 pip stops and you're buying 250 pips deep. That's a 100 pip stop, and you're looking to make maybe 300 pips with that one ticket in that one thing, and you're just scattering them out there. You're not even watching this happen, right? You want to keep track every 8 hours. You're really going to go every 8 hours and go to each chart and make sure you click only once. No, so then the answer is you just have the robot, just keep launching them. I would prefer the criteria, but what I'll do is just time it so it launches in Asia. Asia's nearly at the end of the market in U.S. markets. When the market's over, I think that's the time to lock in some kind of, if you're going to do this swap thing, it's like a swap thing. You're going to lock it in, and you're going to get that hedge locked in. And then you're just going to ride it out and let it unravel, but you're going to have to make sure the other robots aren't duplicating the entry time. And then you would back test those, I suppose, to see. But now you're going to curve fit it on purpose. So you're going to look at the chart. And you're going to say, what is the ATR here? Just we're going back 20 days. And well, you're going to have to. Hopefully, you're blending manual trading with. You wouldn't give everything to the robot. So another thing, this Ryan Brown guy, he intervened on the robot. No, let the robot do the robot's gig and then trade against it if need be. So if you think the robot's full of shit, just trade against it with your trade plan on the script, right? So it's you against the bot. So I haven't done that yet because if I come in and I close all winning trades, I know this robot. I have one robot that comes in and it goes, oh, well, fuck, let's go launch some new tickets, because it's saying it'll only trade 2 tickets at a time, I think, in the code. So it has this like limitation. So any kind of intervention on top of your robot, yeah, you're kind of fucking up this holy grail thing you're trying to build. Okay, euro's going up. I'm still buying here. I'm up $5. I'm gonna scalp a little euro here. So I have the very tight 7 pip stops I'm running right now. I'm risking 5 to make 12. So in Asia, I like to just go into like a 25 or 100K and just get a few pips. And then that's all I can imagine here. And then we still have the Thursday, maybe there's jobs report or something tomorrow. This is Wild Wednesday. We have made the new low, as you would suspect, on the euro dollar. That's the classic situation. I have to delete those things here. So here we're back in the plodding along. All the fun's over. Look at how the bears were able to just smash this thing into the ground. And I think you missed your sell window there if you're a euro bear. The obvious rooftop above the 100 pip yard line. And boy, did we plunge. So I bought this plunge here earlier. I put in limits, and then I bought at the market. Kind of heavy right here. So this is my next endeavor. So I just jump into the one that seems to be the most high drama. Here we have a 2-period divergence here on our side. You can just tell. hopefully you can see that head and shoulders we just had so it just happened. Like my first scalp is going to have to be to here, right? The obvious floor that we're beneath right now. So another unfair treatment of the currency pair. So yeah, the people that bought too much here on this drop are completely fucking. They're going, what the fuck? Now this is why. If you come in heavy here, you can't. You got to come in light, medium, heavy, heavier, heaviest, and then just super fucking heaviest. But getting that right, how are you going to get that right? Well, I think you're going to have to go back and look at the last low that this thing's ricocheting off of. So here's the hard part about trading is that it's about time frames. So the 1 hour there, you're thinking, yeah, nice momentum, dying out, stuck down here, unfair. We could scalp to this thing. We could start taking it out and do a short squeeze against these money management bots that are holding a line and getting lower lows. I mean lower highs, and that pressure's building up on the high. So that's the other thing that's, these, how you describe the market pressure, it's unfair. So in the 4-hour world, it doesn't look like that big a deal. And this is where the 4-hour market bot needs to come in and just buy this. No questions asked. I wouldn't ever, if I ever see a clean candle like that, that's just bam, I gotta trade for that. Just sell with especially in the euro, you could sell with a 10 and a 15, 20 pip stop. But it is a euro dollar, and it's very tame, and it's just how it is. Now, unless the wheels come off this thing, and the only way to really decide that is to look to the larger time frame here. So I'm going to take a look at the daily chart. Oh, well, this is good. So we weren't able to hit this, but I would have loved to have bought down here. So I still got my pendings in here. Never filled, but oh well. And then these guys, I think I filled these. And I hope I have a wide enough stop on the bottom of that rack. So all I'm doing is, my personal favorite strategy has to be this dumb shit stuff where you see this low, and even though the market's here, I want to buy here lightly, and maybe there was a scalp in that, but I really want to buy super thick and then really heavy, and we never made it to the super. I would have insane tickets down here. So it's about having enough money in the account for that trade, and then we could also make the argument that this price pulse here, this is the Cardwell entry, because this is a reversal, because this is more overbought but at a lower price. So this is quite a screaming move, but it's actually fails, and then we find the lowest close between there. We project our target to here. So this is the measured move idea, whatever you want to call it, the Gartley, the parallelogram. So that's the classic, right? And how long do you think it's going to take for us to, the scalpers will hopefully be out of this by 9 o'clock. I'm hoping this is always the hope, is that it's going to be a nice clean thing here. And of course, then you wouldn't hope that if it keeps going, but I have targets that are around here and scaling out, and it's that scaling in, scaling out, getting this equity curve to be smooth is the trick, I think. Anybody can go in and trade it and go, yeah, I'm kind of making like 10% a month, but I mean, you kind of pay for all the other exposure to all the other markets, and if you're going to lose like 50%, make 200%, and only be up 150%, you're still losing chunks of money. There's no getting away around the fact that you may put a order bank in going, hey, this looks like a good idea, and you're like, Jesus fuck, like if you bought this plunge here, like oh, I'm ready for this trade, look at me, I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm buying this, and you're like, damn, like I thought maybe come in here with the tight stuff, but it's actually made a new low there just for a nanosecond. Now this is what I think, I have to say, no nonsense doesn't get this trade, because he wouldn't get in here. This is a reversal. He probably is befuddled by why this thing goes smashing down like that. It's this is the cause, is this hole. It's like a vape hole for those vapors, guys that are getting killed. People that have, stop with the vaping. This guy in front of me in traffic, I'm like, holy shit. It's like I couldn't see. This hole fills. That's not a bad reaction to that. And even this is the cup and handle. This is the cup being filled. So the cup is being filled. But there's a new cup forming here. This is the cabinet underneath. And this is, to me, like no-brainer scale in. If you need be, you only put like every 10 pips. Right? You got to get that right. That's the trick. If you start selling this vacuum as it fills, you're like, well, okay, you never filled on this, but look at the window. So here is the classic, I'm assuming this is what ICT's block, this is my version of ICT block. Is these treetops here, that hole, okay? Because once on the larger time frame, it looks like, oh, she's going to keep going. I'm only saying that from the standpoint of people that buy stupid fucking breakouts on the daily. And they could be right, because if we go to the daily chart, they could be right. If we go to the daily chart, what kind of breakouts are you going to see in the daily? You can verify and say, I will take this trade. Especially the doji. I love this smash down on the daily. Oh, what a dumb shit entry. I'd buy there easily for a 10 pip bounce. Could be wrong. Look how nice it worked out here. At the end of the day, it's down. So I'm going against the, I'd say probably going against, definitely, I'm on the opposite side of the trade of no nonsense, because I think he gets in on down confirmations like this. He says, you could say here it's down, and he'd be right. It's down. Sell. Right? He's winning. But what I'm saying is, who can say, who's the guy that says, I got to trade for that? Yeah, I could do that trade. I could also have sell stops here, confirmation. I could also be a non-directional guy that's in the same winning trade as he is. I have a sell stop, I have a buy stop. I have a buy stop, no fills, only filling on the south side. I'm a turtle entry. And this is not these aren't very big candles. These are under 50 pips. When they get to 100 pip candles, I'm not going to trade a sell stop here and get trapped in that fucking drama. You can't do that. Whatever you may think about whatever you've back tested, you can't just religiously follow dumb shit like that. When the market goes down here, it's running out of momentum. See how this isn't going down as much? And it's a smaller candle. Besides the money management bots that are short, they have a trailing money management. The first time it's triggered is here. Holy shit, look at this reversal off of that. Granted, if you put a buy stop here, you have to put a sell stop here, according to the most classic entry rules, retail trader rules. And then you trail your stop here, and then they kind of stop you out, but then they definitely stop you out, and then they rip your face off the other way, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? But then they really, really stop you out, and then they really, really go up. See, this is what blows people's minds. And it's never going to, no fucking indicator is going to be able to give you what's really going on here. Why is it so fucking rambunctious? So it takes out this low, takes out this high, it goes here, and then it goes and takes out this high, and then it comes all the way back to here, and you're like, what the fuck? and then it just does a little baby stop on here, or whatever you want to call that. Just nicks the wick, buying new lows. People that buy new lows are going, they missed this move, but at some point it came back here, and then it came here, and then it just, it's like hard to believe, Could you trade that on a daily? Well, you could if you may psychologically. You may if you go to the 4-hour chart and you're going, oh, I see what's going on here. We're filling this 12-hour void. We're filling this. So all the voids that are on the 4-hour chart are going to be like 8, 4, 12. Just keep adding 4. And then you're going to get in really big maybe because you're like, okay, I got enough money in the account. I think I want to make like $300 here, risking 100. You should be able to do that. Not those exact numbers, but hopefully you get to the point where, and you also have pendings out there. So you don't have to scalp your life to make money. It might be too stressful. And you might feel like, oh God, can I trust what I'm looking at here? And then you have the pendings, which are kind of like I would say a backup plan, but a different style, right? So anybody that, even these people that are famous, have like an investment they're running. Because if say you're in Hollywood, you got to have some guy manage your money. Of course, some of those people just completely blow up their accounts and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that if I'm only in one currency at a time, and I have wide scripts, and I have tight scripts, and I have some market orders, and I have some hedges, yeah, I could survive. I say any chart like that guy that's claiming, you give him any account, he can unravel it. Yeah, because he's going to say, you know what, dude, let's just go flat. If you go flat and you retain some equity, you can rebuild it. But if you hold on to the bitter end with no stop in one idea, too big, right? Because you did make money at one time like that, or maybe you never, but if you ever made it like $1,000 trading really big, you're going to try to go in with the same size again. And if you haven't smoothed out the stop hunt against you into at least 5 tickets, so you don't really notice that you got on the wrong side. But this also cancels out the classic approach of, I've got one gun and I'm a sniper. And I got a really good gun though. You see my gun. But yeah, it's not good enough for certain kinds of things that can happen. And sometimes you need a smoke bomb, or sometimes you need to set traps. So that's the idea of a minefield. If this is the art of war, it's the war room, don't you have like scripts that are like minefield? You place them out there, And, if they come over there, the enemy comes across the line, you don't have to be there to pull the trigger. Now, that's considered to be kind of like a cowardly, they're still picking up mines from fucking Europe. So maybe people don't want to trade like that because, what's Paul McCartney's wife's out there stepping on mines for people. But, that's another to consider. And, of course, it is an awkward trade plan. I think I could get this. I have a person in mind. Maybe I could get this person to place orders. I have to give them, I'm just going to pay them like a wage, I suppose. Because, I guess you can get people to do what you want if you give them like $10. Here, give $10, place 50 tickets. Tell them where to place them, what to do. This way, it's more of like a robot. It's like you have a person, like I said, have them capture the chart with the arrows on there. If you had a prop firm like that, it might be different, right? If you had some kind of like, this is like proof that that's how you're doing the trade, or like the perfect phone call. Oh yeah, I did this. How about that? Yeah, there you go. There's a trade. It's in the bag. And some of these breakout trades are just hysterical. The market's sitting there, and the news comes out, and you might get slippage on some of these. Granted, if you have stop entries, but hey, listen. The risk going in. It does make money because the broker is going to honor at least half those tickets. I mean, it depends how brutal the news is and how many people are on your platform. So the brokers that have more customers, have better fills, less slippage. It's a community there too. You're looking at a broker that's very thin. So I've stared at a lot of these brokers, probably 50. I've watched 50 different brokers tick charts, and each one is unique. And it's really interesting when you stack them up. I did one day, I put like 6 tick charts together from different brokers, and I thought, let me see here. And you could do arbitrage, back in the day. You could still do it. You just find a really slow server out there, and you just get another broker with a fast one, and you just go, let's go. Hopefully you're trading the real money on the slow server, right? So you know where the price is going. But you have to also train for that, because you could make the mistake of, since, and it could be a lag on the other broker. So you need 3 brokers or something. You need now you say, I need 6 brokers. I need and this is when people have I have this feed from Morningstar or Reuters or whatever. Oh, I'm staring at that. But is it helping you get an edge? Is that your edge that you oh, yeah, I can see where the market's going? Some of the retail brokers may not pick up that trade, and so you'll see that move only in the high liquidity pool, and you won't see it on your broker, and you're like, oh, okay, well. And then by the time you go, you'd have to get into the market before that your real money broker moves, because or your real money broker might make up for that move by widening the spread. So even if you're looking at the fast cutting edge of the biggest money in the world, so it's so funny, the high frequency trading like that, how's that helping you? You could still get in on a limit. You really think that in this moment of time that, I think it's so hilarious that people are paying for that real-time data when there's still a lag in all the data that's in the world, technically speaking. Nobody's at the edge of the edge of the edge, right? Let's hope. Soros is sitting there pulling the big lever of money. He's got the money throttle. But he's sinister bar sinister, That's the going. So I'm just trading this drift up. I'm up $21, I think. So I'm just trading the drift here. I'm just trying to make 8 pips, 8.5 pips. So all these little fluctuations, are they worth trading? Should you just be a no nonsense? I get in once a month, and I'm in this trade with a 200 pip stop. I'm in a 20K. Yeah, I get it. You made $400 last month. Look at you. I get it. This is no fun for me. I just don't think I want to make $1,000 in a week. Just I'm in, I'm out, I'm flat, I'm out. I want to scalp about 50% of the time. I don't think I could handle being in these big fucking. Oh my God, I'm down $1,000. Yeah, you were up I was up 2,000. I'm only up 1,000 now. Fuck. Should have got out. Who's not? Somebody said they wanted me to trade real money and describe. I guess I would. That's my original feeling about it was, that sucks. I was up 700 and now I'm just all the way back to the starting gate. I guess I should have got out of that. So that's deciding whether you're a scalper or you're trading a small position with not having it affect your, you're not getting pissed off that you either built a robot or you made a hunch or you have this fancy switch confirmation system that's supposed to protect you from all things evil. But a lightning bolt comes down and smacks your house, not really intentionally. You happen to be in during the Swiss franc depegging. You find yourself in that trade and you're like, wow, that's interesting. You're actually lost more than you have in the account, which I guess you could have that happen. Or the broker files bankruptcy. You lose all your money. You have only one broker. You were such a genius. You had one broker. Yeah, they were really good. The best. I'm only using the best brokers. Turns out your schlock broker wasn't even in the trade. And isn't that funny? The bucket shop seems to survive pretty good. The bucket shop. How cute. Yeah, so you're paying a little bit more on spread. I get it, but they're letting you trade, dude. You're not a bank. What are these people fucking moaning about anyways? Now I'm going to get pissed. I'm going to get pissed. What the fuck were these people talking about? Well, dude, you could have to trade a standard lot. When I started, I saw standard lots, and I saw the mini, and I go, I don't know. And then the only people with micro was FXCM that I knew of. And there was some nanos. I have micro out of Russia, 1001 Xness. It's killer. All these people are still there, too. It's so funny. And it's like, whoa, we got to. Thanks, Nanny State. Well, thanks for trying to save me. That's another reason I'm so pissed off. It's such an easy skill. I mean, it's such a non-physical skill that a girl could do it. So it really is good for that. I must say, you should just have a. This is probably another. I don't want to give away this idea, but I guess I will because it's probably not going to do it. It's a little bit too in the Me Too world. But I'm thinking of a prop shop that's only available to hot babes. It's a hot babe prop shop. Now, in this situation, we're going to interview you. We have to take photos. We're going to use an objective digital scanner, kind of robo, a hot sensor, a babe sensor bot. It's going to scan them. Yeah, they're symmetrical enough. And then, we just, of course, it's girls only. And of course, we're going to keep it like that. So if anybody wants to get frisky in there, we're not going to. If you trade better under if you have to break out wine, whatever they need, okay, nothing illicit, but high-end wine, high-end coffee, maybe organic food. No desk fees. Okay, just like when you go to the lounge where the exotic dancers are. They have cover charge, but no cover charge for the girls, like girls' night. There's no desk fees, amazingly. And then it's also for bonus pips. You say to them, if you want to do a video blog, how you're trading, go for it. And like Hannah Forex, I'm sure she's been my first inductee into the hot babe prop house. I think you might go up against it. Hey, but you're going to be famous overnight because people are going to be like, dude, you better. First thing you want to get is some attorneys that are friends before you even launch the project. I think. I would hook up the domain name right away. Hot prop. That's probably been taken, but how about hotties propping hotties? They're all VPs. They're dressed up like they have a tuxedo on, scantily designed tuxedo, strategically designed. And that's my strategy. That's what I'm going to go for is the hot prop. I want to be the VP of the hot prop. Okay, girls. And just be very chauvinistic. Okay, ladies. Who's trading the guppy tonight? Candy? You want to trade the guppy? Come here, girl. Sit on VP's lap and let's trade the guppy. There you go. Just double click. Okay, so I'm buying some more of this retracement on the. Boy, they beat the shit out of that euro. It's just another thing is I love to rescue the market from being beat. Try to make 7 pips here on the dead cat bounce. I think gold's had it. I can draw my first bearish trend line on the daily gold. So gold's backing off. We bounced off of that floor on the monthly. There's a triple bottom on the monthly gold. Dollar CAD made a nice run so you could have taken the dollar CAD trade also. I don't have it up here. You probably could take dollar Swiss. So let me go look at the dollar Swiss and do the same setup. I'm going to use the same concept on the daily dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss daily. Where is the stop hunt? Where do we want to buy? Where's the deepest wick? This is deep, so you buy a 2K and you buy a 4K. Why do you buy a 4K here? It's a deeper vacuum. Why do you buy and if you count every bar back, maybe you add a K. This is the deepest vacuum in existence. You buy even more there. And look how tight that is. This is slightly deeper down, and it's deeper in time. It is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars back. That is insane. And inside of that, like, so when the market was here, what is that? Okay, so now I'm going to quiz everybody on the course. Since I don't have a formal course, but I'm going to quiz people. What do we do here, people? When we see it's dead in the water, we put on a hedge. So you would have made some here on your scalps. You still have to be aware of this trap. They're going to trap the weekly people here, so to speak. People that buy weekly breakouts are being punished for it here. It does not break out, confirm, and keep going. But the non-directional traders, if they put a buy stop here, they got trapped. If they put a sell stop here, they made money. But if they got into the market on a hedge, since they're not paying for that shitty price up there, they're either gonna their shallow targets would have scalped out. So if you're literally gonna at the end of the day put on a hedge here, yes, you're gonna be trapped a little bit here, but those scalps are the 25 pip scalps, right? That's what you're trying to do there, right? So you have to think in terms of what is the smallest body and what is the smallest bar. There's two trade plans involved here. The small body trade and the small bar trade. And it's an inside bar too, from this bar, the last bar. So there's not, like, you don't back test inside bars and go, I don't think you would. You could. But if you said, I'm going to back test the inside bar with a 20 period moving average as my baseline. It's a very simple bot. Think about that. Now, would you run that? I could run in my mind and say, I can see how it would get fucked up. It would mistake an 18. It would, if you calibrated, if you did it with 20 bots that were 1 pip different, yeah, it would work. You need 20 bots that trade inside bars on the daily with 5 pip differentiations between each robot. Run them on maybe 4 pairs, tight, like high liquid pairs. You don't want to go out to the Singapore against the breakout strategies. I don't know if you can trade breakout strategies on really wide spreads. It doesn't make sense. You might as well just get in the market and take the punishment. Let them stop you out. You better be good at putting your stops in where you want. And limit trading with the wide spreads also is a hindrance too, because your fill is pretty good. It's better than the guy that got stopped and trapped. So that's why they say breakout trading doesn't work. But you got to see who's getting trapped and what a breakout is for you. For some people, this was the breakout. We're breaking out, man. Okay, but what about the here's the breakout, the near breakout, and that's the far breakout. So here's the hole, and when that broke out, there was still a breakout forming here. So the people that run trailing sells confirmation entry, they get filled, and if they didn't get stopped out, if they were able to ride that down, they could make it to here. All the way back to this, and I guess I'd just call that a 5-day basement. All these charts look the same to me. I can't even see a difference. You have to see where you're at right now in the scheme. So in the scheme, you would have sold here at the market. You also would have sold by the fact that they just tripped the wick on they tripped this wick and this wick. This was the one, there was bigger tickets on this for the scalpers. They trade light and heavy into that, and very heavy to here, but we haven't made it here yet. So you could place orders and never get filled. You could have buy limits down here, and you didn't get filled till here. When the market was going up, and they did the stop hunt on the bears, on the bulls, money management stuff, they hunt that, and then they never get to here till there. So you're not going to get filled on these tickets because you had to wait for that. But what you could say here is that the fake breakout or the fake continuations here, are you really going to trade that on the daily? Or are you going to wait for the Okay, so you can't overtrade it by saying, well, I'm just going to find all these crazy entries because, I mean, if you're going to do this on 28 pairs, I don't know. You need 28 different accounts. So I think you do pretty well by just honestly take a currency and just trade really fucking big and really fucking light. Like, or two currencies that are, one's moving, one's not. Get in really big on the one that's not moving, build a position, and then trade that strategy. And you're focused on that one trade over the next 4 hours. You should be able to make, every week you should be able to make at least 50 pips, right? Even if you lost 100 and you made 200, like if you're like, oh yeah, I know, I mean I made like $3,000, but I lost like $2,000. I'm up $1,000. You're still doing pretty good. I mean, it's another thing to also say, what is the equity swing that you can tolerate by the end of the week? Because you can make it all back, or you could maybe you make $300 a week for 3 weeks and you made back the 1,000 you lost, but you're still in the game. You're still, this guy sent me an email, and he says I'm going to keep trading, but I wouldn't take it like if it's you just you need another demo to open to imagine that's real money. If you've really blown up, if you really don't feel comfortable risking real money, then just open up 2 demos and really go, just work on execution. I mean, you could study the charts. People always say, well, I just have to look at the charts some more. I guess, but at some point you got to jump in and say, oof, what if I find myself in a winning trade? Should I get out? Like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I think this is the tipping point between, if you hand somebody the steering wheel to your car and you blindfold them and you say, no, it's a really high-end car, don't worry about it. I'll yell right and left, like that guy, Hua, the Hua movie. And, right, so if somebody traded like that, you say, well, I'll let you know when I get out. And I remember that's how it was when I started. I gave some guy money. He's like, oh, I got it, dude. I'm a Mensa. The guy was in Mensa. Oh, great. Thanks. $250 commission on option trades. Beautiful office. Thanks, buddy. You lost $23,000 for me. Thanks. That's wonderful. $10,000, and he goes, well, if you add, I think we can make it back. So I add another $10,000 to the account. And that's when I said, fuck you. I went back to do it yourself. Life's a do-it-yourself project, so that's what I did, because I said, fuck it, these guys. And these bankers fucking blowing up all this shit on the fucking volatility. It's so fucking hysterical. All the big banks. Yeah, I don't know if Bank of America's a big bank or is Chase. They're fucking renting money now. They leased gold. What fucking retards. They leased gold. But the government comes, here's the problem. Nobody gives a shit about your fucking this, that, your Bitcoin, your fucking gold bullion. All this stuff is like, look, if you've got enough money that you nobody's shooting at you, you're doing good. This girl with the climate change, what the fuck happened to her? God, I mean, she's like an actress, little pretentious actress, like from the oh God, all those little kid movies. I can't remember the name of it now. Harry Potter is nonsense. Stuff just pisses me off. Harry Potter, Jesus Christ. Stop with the Harry Potter shit. I'm up $24. Should I get out? I got pendings here on the dollar CAD. I don't have it on the computer, but I got it in the same account here, so I'm waiting to get filled on that plunge on dollar CAD. So everything goes around the map here. The market gets whipsawed. Can you make money from whipsaw? I love having that come down into my ticket bank and retrace, hopefully. That is the scenario if you have like an iceberg order that's 500 pips deep. No, you got it in there like 500 pips deep. Don't make sense. I mean, you want to be as close to the market as you can get without getting destroyed by it. Like you're really walking behind a wild animal and giving it enough distance so if it turns around, it doesn't kill you. It fills you. You don't want to be trailing with so many limits. It's a great idea to be the stop hunter, but you can be overwhelmed by goobers that are selling into your limits. Of course, like people ask me, what the fuck if they, you just blew out that, you either blew up the account or you blew out that script. Whatever you decided the risk was, total risk on that idea was. Yeah, you did blow that up. But you come back with another one and another one, another one. That's how you win. Because you've like, oh really? Well, fuck you. I'm going to do this then. And to non-directional trading to me is the holy grail psychologically, because then you just don't give a fuck. You truly don't have an outcome in mind other than more volatility. It could be up or down. So you're not judging the direction. Another thing I would have in the prop house is we don't judge direction room. With safe space, or what they call it, a no judgment zone room for non-directional traders. That's what I'm starting Discord. I'm going to start a non-directional traders Discord. Now that'd be hysterical. People would come in there and go, well, dude, are you bullish and bearish? I'm like, fuck you, get out of here. You have to go to no nonsense for that shit. This is non-directional only. Prove you're non-directional, and you put up a picture. No, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't torture people like that. But we could also have the gay prop house. I'm not against that. Okay, all guys in there. The girls probably. And then now this is pay-per-view. There are desk fees. We make the girls pay for the this pay-per-view. How about pay-per-view prop house? Watch people, or we have now this might be going out there on a limb, but we could also have people under 4 feet tall prop house. Or we just have virtual prop house. We have people on Skype just going, here, we're doing this. That would probably be the. Of course, then so this guy's doing this. Sean Lucas guy. He's just like, oh, we're just gonna trade. Fuck everybody. Fuck all that shit. The guy's sitting with a stupid shit-eating grin. It's just hysterical. He's an Amish trader. There's that approach too. I mean, there's everything from ICT's mystical approach to I've slept with bankers, I know what's going on here, to like I can't, if I tell you they'll kill me, to the and you got all sorts of people. Hannah Forex, she just did a new posting. I haven't got to that either. Since I turned off my giant stereo system also, I just kind of shut down. When I lost the computer, I said, you know what, I'm just going to go off the grid. And I turned off my really state-of-the-art stereo, which I feel like it's like doing drugs. Like if you put it on and it sounds really good, you don't want to leave the house. So you're like, God, I just want to listen to this thing. And then you're like, oh my God, like everybody else's sound system sounds like shit. So now, so you get spoiled, and then you go to somebody else's house, and you're like, oh God, they got to turn that off. But so, in order not to get angry at other people's things, you don't want to make it sound too nice at home. Like you don't want it to be too nice. Eat too good of food, and then you're with your friends, and all they have is a bag of Doritos. You're like, oh, I guess so. I forgot to pack a lunch. It's always tough when people offer you food. Hey, would you like? I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, it's like, I think I'm good. I mean, I don't know. I want to get like addicted to what you're eating. I'm at $26. Should I get out? Also, I did a video about never like having a 95% win rate. And what I did in that account was when I was up, I got out. It's amazing. People are like, oh, 95%. Yeah, every time I was up, I got out. Because you get right back in. Really shallow trading. It's just kind of like, if you think that the Swiss franc, when it was pegged, everybody must have thought in the back of their mind, what happens if they unpeg it? Who didn't think about that? And that's a fundamental view of reality. So could you have prepared for the trade fundamentally? Right? Is some guy hog long or hog short something right now going, yep, I'll have my day. You may think I'm in a stupid trade now. But call me in 5.5 years and I'll tell you how stupid that trade was. So there is that view of trading. Now it's completely not the scalper's view. Or the hit and quit it, hump and dump. It's 7:15 now, Eastern Standard Time. So I'm trying to look for this rally, and tonight I'm hold this for 2 hours now. This trade on the euro, I think I'm committed now. I think we could engulf. I can see it in the stars for us here. It's a lot of fun trading, I must say. The the amount of people that are in, and I guess what's going on there at No Nonsense, I think I figured it out. People don't really want to go it alone. And that's also the reason why for the Discord and the, oh, hey, what do you think of this? And do you think I'm back testing the idea of dating Asian girls. And you see this inflatable doll that I have. Um, I get this kind of rehearsing thing, but you could just as easily put up the uh, any robot and just watch the market play back and say, would I take that trade? Would I take that trade? Just you should be able to call out the trades on the fly there. I see that you want to do this analytical back test and then compare notes and do all that stuff, and that does make sense. Um, but I still think you've got to have this feeling of pain of I'm underwater by $5. Was this a good idea to put the 50 pip stop on the 1K? I'm down $5. It's really kind of like bugging me. Should I buy more? I don't know. This fucking trading thing. I mean, you could really get depressed. And especially if, you know, you don't know anybody in the flesh that's trading. There's nobody to console you and go, it's going to be okay. Just get another beer. Don't forget our babe prop house that we're working on the side. Oh, yeah, that's right. Like, that'll be the multi-level marketing prop house, right? That's right, buddy. Just hang in there. I talked to this guy one time on the live stream, and he was into like, you need a landing page. You not kidding. We need a landing page for this fucking prop house of babes. I'm thinking, let's find some nice pictures that aren't copyrighted, and then let's have them in front of the desk, charts up. Say Hannah Forex could be the spokesgirl. There's another really hot girl that was on the Google Plus. She's this Arab chick, and wow. And it was called Forex for Women, and it's gone now because I think they got rid of Google Plus, and so I became a contributor there with my charts and videos. And I did a shout out to the women of Forex. This is for the women of Forex, and put a video up and candlesticks only because they were trading candlesticks. Girls love the candlesticks, and it was so cute, and she was so hot, and I was like, and then she has this little thing she does on like I want to say that Russian channel where she does like a market update, real quick, 2-minute update, like the weather report on the market. I know people tune in for that. The other thing I can't tolerate, it's like a sports game. I can't tolerate sports commentary or sports in general because I don't feel like it's I guess it's artwork in a way. I mean, it's artful execution of a game. But I'm just annoyed. I don't know everybody's name, and if I don't know it all, I gotta know it all, or that topic, I can't really enjoy it. So it's just stick to a few topics in life. And of course, the sports thing, a lot of analogies there. In fact, the grid trading, the gridiron, the idea that you're at the 50-yard line, you're at the 100. I mean, you can have this aerial view of the market that's pretty useful if you are a sports person to make it okay to do that trade, like these silly kind of, the turtle soup shit. But to me, turtle soup's an opportunity. It's not something to stay away from. The idea that the market's not going somewhere is just beautiful. There's a great plan for that. And so to do that in conjunction with the market maker, ICT, and yeah, I suppose you have the moving average. It's not like you couldn't trade the moving average thing, but then I always feel like, well, what's the best moving average? And that's when I decided to just go with one. Just go raw. And then put the trend line on and make it a little more work. If it's more work, it feels more rewarding to me because I'm a hands-on person. I even think that, having a computer, turning it on, you're still doing manual labor. If you type a new script, it's not like it's purely a decision in your head. you know, like a guru sits back and says buy, sell. You still have to have this array of orders, and even the banks have the same problem, according to what people say. You know, assume it's true. I don't, I don't think it's like a trading pit where they know that that guy in the pit there works for a big bank, and when he makes a certain body language, they go, uh-oh, there's some fucking big order coming in. And then the market jumps, and then they're like, oh, okay, do what he's doing. You know, this guy usually, like, people have a clue there, but I think in the forex world, it's a blind pool. This is why I think there's no such thing as stop hunts. It may feel like they can see your stops, they're hunting your stop, but it's completely methodic. It's like fucking ridiculous. From a logical, analytical standpoint approach, technical analysis is supposed to be technical and analytical. Then you have the mystics. I suppose the Fibonacci or the Robinacci is certainly, that's a new level, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm about 33.99. I feel like getting out. So it's really interesting to see people's approaches, and I don't blame them for taking the safe backtest route, but you can test drive that car all day long, but when you buy it and you own it and you drive it, you can look at the brochure all day long, but you drive that thing, you're like, oh shit, I just hit a pothole. I've never done that before. Yeah, there's potholes in the market, you know. Well, I bent the rim. I shouldn't put that tight a stop on my rim. I mean, you trade. Who's these fuckers with your rims? It's like a tight stop. The fuck are you looking to do? I mean, the roads could be, and not to mention, you could blow out the tire. Well, the run flat tires. Okay, well, whatever, I suppose, right? But maybe you want to tow like a Hummer in your Ferrari just in case. And you can do that in the market. The beauty of this market is you could have the swing trades running in conjunctions with your scalps, and then you're free from this. I can only do girls that weigh 110 pounds from Asia. Yeah, why not just hang out with some giant girl? She's probably smarter. You know, this is how it typically goes. I'm not saying that the skinny girls are dumb, but you can make all sorts of things like that too about the markets and say, well, you know, this euro dollars manipulated. You know, the euro dollars. I mean, the no nonsense guy is such a currency racist. It's like, oh yeah, we can't trade that, and you know, this is designed for overbought, oversold in the stock market, so it doesn't work in forex. Are you fucking nuts? It works on all data. It works on the Richter scale. Look at a chart of the decay of the earthquake. It looks just like a price chart. Of course, it's a vibration. It's going up and down. There's no magic spell. There is probably maybe 10 price pulses inside of every price pulse. So it looks like, since they're not syncing up, it looks like the market's static and wild. But when they sync up, and then of course we still have real prices here, the people are trying to, at the end of the day, oh, so it's Wednesday, they flush it out. Could this engulf by the end of the week? Well, that's my dream. I'm just looking to make a 10 pip engulf. And you may be waiting for that setup. And you might trade the accumulation distribution that goes on the 4-hour chart during the setup on the daily. You're trading around a swing trade that you're in. Or maybe that's just too complicated and you just want to trade single tickets. Or maybe you want to go for a prop firm and just take, whatever that Ryan Brown says he's just going to go with he's just going to plod along. He's already gotten old. For a guy that young, you'd think he'd be like just hitting it, you know. And he did hit it when he needed the money. When he needed to take the MT4 course, he made money. He manual traded it. He's like, yeah, this is obvious. Let's get in here. Yeah, so that's the answer. And the empowered trading to me was the kind of what really just I couldn't believe I was seeing, you know. People that kind of just goofily go out there and present this homespun story about Gartley's, and there are people that literally there's a certain page in a Gartley book and people call it the so and so. It's like Scientology. It's like quoting some kind of iconic thing. this sword in the stone. You're going to take it out, and you're going to find the magic key to the market. When the key is just time, size, and volatility. Like, how fast is it going? How fast is the market moving, whether it's up or down? To me, that's always been the most risky thing about trading is it a fast or slow market? If it's a slow market, it seems safer to trade because even if you're in big, you're going to win slowly and lose slowly. It's absorbable. You can absorb the loss. If you're in super small and the market's fast, you're like, this isn't too bad. Once you double the size from 1K to 2K, you're like, that's not bad. What if I... Okay, but then you get used to, you get complacent, and you trade really big, and the market's really quiet. I'm imagining you don't have stops, for instance, or they're too tight, and you just keep getting churned, like a broker that keeps putting on trades for you. I've had brokers do that too. Well, we're gonna get out of it. I'm just stay fucking it, dude. You're killing me with the commissions. Just fucking move your stop wider and just eat it. You're gonna have to fucking ride this swing trade out. What are you, fucking nuts? Stop. And that's when you're really system hopping. To me, system hopping is saying I'm a scalper, I'm a swing trader. That's the only systems I can see. There's only fucking two systems. Are you scalping or are you swinging, and everything in between? Intermediate trading. And then I remember when I read all the books and they said there's an intermediate chart, and I thought, well, long-term chart. Well, how would you describe a long-term chart? And some people said, well, 2 to 6 years. And some people are like, 2 to 6 months. And I go, we got a problem. There's no standardization. There's nothing like long-term trading is this, swing trading is that, intermediate trading, short-term trading. What do you call short-term? A tick chart? Well, it depends. Well, then you're fucking... Dude, there's no ground. There's no baseline to any of this shit. So I guess that's the idea of building a baseline. This is the no-nonsense answer, is that you have 3 square meals a day, shut the fuck up, get in line. But to me, it's irritating from the standpoint of like, okay, we can all get in line in a fucking prop house and go, well, actually, like I said, if the girls are hot at the prop house, I'm like, guys are paying desk fees. In a co-ed prop house, girls get free desk fees in my prop house. To balance it out, got to encourage the women. Also, you can have a 50-50 prop house where the guys are paying. They're always paying, right? We're always paying, so it's just natural. And the guys get to vote who the girls are. But we can't have anybody getting raped. Okay, there's cameras everywhere. So don't think it's going to be like that. But I'm saying that's the ultimate prop firm. So we have to hire people in pairs, obviously, like Noah's Ark. We have to hire in pairs. That's another consideration. We're up $30. Should I get out? I'm going to consult my half-hour chart. The bottom of the hour is coming. 2 minutes to 7:30 here. So let's take a look into the abyss of the half-hour chart. I'm just doing it. Looks like it's going up to me. I'm going to hold it. So we're inside this. We just took out this vacuum on the half-hour chart inside of the euro here. I think we could probably hit this sell window. So I'm going to hold till here. I see this vacuum. I see this one is. So if you were a seller, you'd sell lightly here and heavy here. And where would you sell really heavy, class? Here, right? So this is going to be, wow, everybody's cashing. I'm cashing out there. You can see my targets. And where am I really going to really sell? And this is very risky, is to put a giant order in this vacuum pool up here. This is all off the half hour. Nice thing about the very first fill on here, so here's where I was talking about earlier. If you get in a really big position when it's really quiet here, you're probably out of 50% of that. If you're in so big and you knew that this was the seller's window, this vacuum, you're out. So this is a classic smash down retrace. I haven't cashed out anything yet. I'm up $35. I'm going to try to make $50 here and I'll probably get out. Then I got to go get some food, but let's just leave that marked off and go to the 1 hour. Do not change any of those vacuums. There is a fill down here. It's very shallow. That's the first one. You can make these all different colors if you want, but so I believe that this hole could be quickly filled, or you could drift through that, but there's a tendency for the market to, and I don't want to say want, but people do say it wants to fill that. Okay, it's a situation. And also, this low here carried forward. So that low, that white line's based on this low here. This is the ultimate target under the floor that we're underneath, so to speak, on the 4-hour chart there. But if I go to the 1 hour and compare the 1 hour to the 30-minute, we don't see this one. We're missing this shelf. So you can't see this tall piece here because you took a data set out. You took out the half hour. So this is, if I take away everything here, let me just put in that crucial piece at the top of the, it's like a Jenga thing, a puzzle thing. If I just highlight this big void, because that whooshed down so hard, and then I go to the 1 hour, so you can't see, it's kind of invisible there. Or we could mark them off. I like to mark them off like this because if I use the white line, it kind of makes it look like you got to know the reason that this is here. This is why I see those people that have all those pivots. I'm like, you got to pick a line, dude. What really matters is this double bottom. We went below it. People are going to want to get out there. I might engulf and just start ripping north too. On the daily, it's like, wow, we haven't even taken out this low. So here's, if I'm not in the market yet, and on a different broker and maybe a different account, this is my next buy window. Is this 50 pip window here? It may not get filled. May not get filled in the next hour. What is the probability that this rate of change can keep going like this? Like, look back here. When this was dripping down, was it worth it to get on here with a kind of a tight trade plan? Yeah, because the rule set says if you're in a 25 pip day, trade with 35 pip stops. When you're in a 75 pip day, trade with maybe 75, 50 pip stops. And you could have rode it to here. You could have sold here like no nonsense and still rode it to here. Or are you the market maker that buys here big down, buys a little bit down, doesn't buy this because it's not down? So you bought heavy, you bought kind of heavy with a tight stop. Maybe you can get stopped out of that. And this one you rode it here. And that's why it sucks to trade two positions, because now you just kind of fucked that up. Okay, so it's 3 minutes after the bottom of the hour, and I'm hoping I can make $50 here by 8 o'clock. So I might just go flat at 8 o'clock and then put very shallow buy limits in and see how the yen's doing. So I can go between two currency pairs. That's about all I can handle. I think I got the dollar CAD here pending on limits too. Okay, I got limits on the dollar yen. It's a perfect setup for a plunge. I did put some tickets in here. I think they could be filling. I hope they're not in, because in the ultimate situation, I want it to be handing off to the next currency. Okay, so I'm about to get filled here on buy limits. Now I am going to put in some aggressive buy limits on dollar yen right now. I'm going to go for the that's not that aggressive. Here it is. 30-minute scripts. I'd like to click this. This is about 18K for a half hour. You could write the 1 hour version of that, or you just keep coming back here and punching this. The safer thing to do is keep coming back and punching this very aggressive order bank. So this is kind of a fun challenge because it is coming in Asia, and I could easily see a plunge below here. I'm a buyer below there, and I'm going to gobble up all that, all the way back to the starting gate of this double top from last night. Of course, we had the nice top become a bottom here. Kickback, bam. The bears are loving it that they sold this trap. They trapped the daily breakout trader, so I'm buying that plunge. I'm trying to get this a dual currency system at least. If the no nonsense can trade 28, I can trade 2. I'm just saying, I can trade 2 currency pairs. I'm getting filled in a plunge on one, the other one's not doing anything. I go from dating a European girl to the Asian girl. We have an ethnicity prop house too. That's coming out later. We have a diversity prop house. We have every fucking ethnicity in there. They will all be girls. I'm up $42. I'm almost hitting my target, man. I have a dollar target. So do you have a dollar target? Do you have a structured target? What kind of trader are you? All right, so let's try to get the account to $5,000 by Friday without taking too many. I'm barely in the market now. So another perfect world is to maybe trade like a samurai to get your account from 1,000 to 2,000, but then back off and trade lightly. And if you can, because you're going to have to trade heavy when you need to trade heavy. I think that's just how it's going to be. I think you need to kind of trade heavy when need be. Or at least have that option. If you wake up in the middle of the night and it's the market's going berserk and you're not sure what's going on because you're half asleep, if you could have a go-to order grid that throws them out like 50 pips apart, like 3K, just to get into something. Or maybe not even get filled on that, but just to get the ball rolling. And then you feel like you go back to sleep. Because I'm too curious. Like, I feel like the rogue wave trader, where I'm constantly thinking, I wonder what the market's doing now. I wonder what it's doing now. I'm kind of curious, Well, what's going on? What's going on? It sounds like somebody's strung out on just gotta see what's going on here, man. And with all the upset in the broker world, it's pretty amazing where stuff ends up. But you only need about 5 good brokers, I say. You used to be able to have about 20, but you could have this, that, and the other thing. Plus, you have, like I said, I want to try to do when winter comes. I want to try to do this. Go up against the United States broker, OANDA, or Canadian United States broker, and try to write a script that works on their platform. I have to make sure I have to turn off the email notifications somehow, because that's how I was ended up paying like $100 fine for letting the EA run on OANDA and getting spammed by their email of I didn't know the MT4 was running in the background. I thought somebody hacked in and was stealing data from me. And it just pissed me off even fucking more. At that point, I wanted to call Dodd-Frank and just have every email sent to electric shock therapy to their fucking genitals. Every email I was getting from, you can't do that trade. What are you doing? You can't do that trade emails. Bunch of assholes. It's like if you're addicted to vaping right now, you're like, damn, I'm strung. Son of a bitch. I kind of knew something. This is like forex for smokers, I think. The forex Dodd-Frank means, because these poor vape people are just sitting there going, dude, just when I got that strawberry flavor, I knew I was home. I could live the rest of my life with enough nicotine to satisfy my overtrading, and I was doing so well. And now I'm back to overtrading because those fuckers pulled the watermelon Zenith flavor out, whatever. Oh man, that is cruel. That is so cruel. I know. It's like, oh, they outlawed Asian girls. Now what are we gonna do? I'm waiting for them to fill my limits here. Come on, get me, man. I know they're stop hunting the goobers here. Come on, bring it. I'm ready. It's too late for the hedge, I think. Okay, so I could do the hedge simultaneously. How do you justify the hedge? I think I missed it. I think the last 4 hours was actually the end of that rally, sell at the market. So I can see all my trade plans, all three of them. My market orders, my hedges, and my limits. I only have 3 trade plans. I have 3 approaches. Okay, I cashed out of something apparently, or got stopped out. My margin just went down. I guess I cashed out. Okay, so just cashed out of some more euro here. So I try to pad the account. Get to about, if I can make $100 now. I'm getting greedy now. If I can make $100, I'm in. I like that. I think I missed my hedge window. I think the best time to put a hedge on is when no nonsense getting in at maybe 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m., 6, 7, or maybe 4, 5, 6 is the ultimate time to get in the hedge. My robot's going to be a daily bot. I'm going to have a daily limit bot that gets in Asia. And then just run that in the background. I'm still going to have to trade at the market though, and put in so the hedge bot would get in Asia, and the limit bot could drop orders every 4 hours. So that's the difference, is that I think the best hedges need to be initiated in Asia or after a big price pulse, and typically that's the end of the day. So the big giant moves like that. And if you do put the hedge bot on, even after a big up move, it becomes a retracement entry. Because you're probably going to go sideways after otherwise it's going to be a turtle trading system. So it's the frequency of the drop. And you know, so the problem is that it may seem like a good idea if you saw low true range on the 4-hour chart, but then you need a more sophisticated robot. You can't just get in Asia. It's going to have to get in just before Europe opens. The market's quiet. Or maybe you could have one that's just tuned to Europe, but then I don't think my scripts would, I don't know if I can do it like that. It's the frequency of the drop, how long do they last, so every time it refreshes, and is there anything that's pending and stacking up is another question in the limit world. In the stop entry world, also, you could have, well, you're just going to have to pick. For the moment, right now, I don't know how to write one that's going to get in a quiet market, and the only quiet market I know is Asia. It's the same time the swap dealers come in and brutalize the spread right at 5 p.m. All the brokers roll over, and this is why you have that bankers having the issue at the discount window. Every night they have to make up their till is low, so to speak. Now people are saying this is the end of the world financially and recession's coming, and this is the, but isn't it funny how they talked about the fucking bond market for 10 years. Oh, look at the bond market. Big bubble, big bubble, big bubble. Did anybody get hurt on that? I didn't see anybody jumping out windows on that bubble. Oh, it's another real estate bubble. Oh, you know what? 80% of the market's sideways. The world's not coming to an end. Well, I guess it is if you're in too big on one trade. Your world's coming to an end. Looks like we're gonna drift up on the euro. Let's drift up here. British pound. Look at this. Look at this fucking rip. Now the British pound. You need to trade 3 times smaller on the British pound. I don't know this guy that sent me the email. I didn't ask him. I have to get back to my spell. My question for him is, who's your broker? How big are you trading? How often do you trade? How tight's your stop? What's your criteria for entry? And yeah, I would say total number of trades a week would kind of be a frequency number. What is the style of your entry? Do you trade at the market? Do you trade on stop? Do you trade on limit? How big is each ticket? How many trades do you do a week? Who's your broker? What instruments do you trade? Is this a tight spread market? Is this the guppy? Because look at this fucking British pound. Are you kidding me? 150 pips? Clean down on the 4-hour chart? Wow. Now that takes a hell of a lot of... But look at how more risky your hedge is. And look how dramatic the... When we leave the station here in confirmation, more sells, if you're going to trail them, more sells stacked up here, more buys stacked up here. If you keep pulling the trigger, every time the market's in a small bar, for a predefined stop, a sell entry, and if your sells, if you have enough money, you can trade bigger and you can just keep pressing that hedge button here. As soon as you clip the trees here, if you did not put the sell limits where you knew you had to put them in that sell pocket, and that's probably 15 pip deep vacuum, 15 bar deep vacuum. So the depth of vacuum and the depth of pips meet. I'm a buyer in this thing. I'm underwater a little bit, and I'm more underwater, and I'm very underwater, and I'm veriest underwater, and I'm fucking seriously martingaling in here. I'm buying like crazy because of this. Lonely Island. My market maker system's getting in there. Yes. That's the Steve Morrow thing. ICT says that Steve Morrow stole it from me. He stole that idea from me. You don't come in here and copy my system. You're going to kill it for the rest of us. Dude, there's so much shit on this goddamn chart. Are you kidding me? Come on. Dude, live a little. It's a 4-hour chart. A lot of fucking drama on this thing. A lot of work. But not really. Check in every 4 hours. But the funny thing is you don't got to check in. You got your trusty sell limits up here in the rooftops and the void around the 100-yard line. You got that wedge. Gee, I wonder if there's any liquidity up there. I don't know. Is that supply or demand zone? I don't know. Supply and demand doesn't work in forex. You don't understand, dude. What the fuck happened to that? How in a hurry is this no nonsense to put his fucking shitty distorted bumper music in front of us every fucking episode with the chalkboard? Is that supposed to trigger me to be like, oh, I'm back in school, I can really pick this date up now. I'm paying attention. Thanks, class. Class? Bueller. I don't know, I guess it's working for people. Who am I to judge? I'm the one with the fucking the hooker prop house. Actually, it's a, it's a human trafficking prop house for wayward teens. I knew everybody's thinking of it, just like that phone call, that perfect phone call. Everybody's thinking the worst. Did he order another urination session on the bed with the really tight-bodied Russian? God, his wife, every time she walks out, I'm hypnotized by her eyes. Okay, listen, I know this. I know they thought that, I'm going to get political. Brace yourself. A lot of people thought that Obama's wife was a dude, but I think that Trump's wife is a fucking android. She's like a fucking avatar. Her eyes, I'm like, okay, that's it. I can't look at her. It's like looking into the abyss. I want to end up. She's so transfixed. There was a dog at the store the other day, and the guy had his window rolled down, and this dog, I don't know what kind of dog it was, a hunting dog. It was staring down something, and I wanted to ask the guy, is your dog going to be okay? It's like his eyes are burning a hole in the pavement over there. What the fuck is it looking at? Is there something hot I need to pay attention to? Like, I just was so like, I was like, dude, you got to clue me in. What is your dog transfixed on? And I kind of felt like, what? I'm nothing to look at. I'm over here. I'm over here getting in my car. What am I, chopped liver? And this thing was. I'm up $43. I want to get out. I'm up 45. I want to get out. God, just get me out of this fucking trade. That's another thing. The trade's going your way, but you're just so annoyed by how long it took to get this far. Have you ever gotten out on a trade? Yeah. And so the resentment you may feel towards the market, it does what you thought it was going to do, but it didn't quite unfold in the time frame that you wished. Because you're like, damn, I want to make fucking another $1,000 this week. God damn it. That's when I decided to trade hedges. Or just trade, get in Asia, maybe pick a direction. You don't have to. And then when the market's like going berserkoid, I'm like, let's go to limit mode, man. And if it's down 4 hours at the end of the day, I'm like, there you go. Let's get in for a dead cat bounce. Heavily for the dead cat bounces. Let's make some money on that shit. Let's come in with the dollar strategy. Dump it, throw limits in. I mean, the most mechanical trade has to be the dead in the market. You could bracket with stops. You could get in at the market. You could put the shallow limits in, but everything's dialed for 20 pips stops to make 100 pips and down to 10 pip stops to make 3 pips. The whole clusterfuck. And the fact that you're dropping these things at different prices. You're not over trading. You're not under trading it. That's how it has to be, man. For optimal, it's just like your car. How long you stay in that fucking gear, dude? The torque ratio's gone. You got to go to the next gear. It served its purpose. The burst out, breakout trade where you scalp that burst. It could slam back when the news comes out. You could scalp the burst and slams back. Now, you don't have to do anything after that. You could trade the news. Like, who doesn't want to trade the news? Of course, do it on a demo if you don't feel like confident. If you don't believe it's possible, trade it. I mean, this whole thing about don't do this, don't do that. I mean, this is empowered trading view of reality. For God's sakes, don't leave your fucking house. And of course, so here's the thing. You make money all week on Thursday, and they have people say this one. I've heard this one before. Don't give back Friday. Okay, that's because the volatility's dried up, maybe. Doesn't mean there's not a trade on Friday. Like, so when it was collapsing on Friday, I'm buying into this. Fuck these fuckers. This is stupid. I'm buying this a little bit. I'm buying this sell-off in Friday. I can't wait till Sunday. So it's like a little... So you have a fun trade, you have this, but this strict approach, I mean, I feel like this clinical approach of I'm going to build a robot. I have an algorithm, the algo. It's algo with indies. I know people are doing it. I get it, but I'm only saying because I did it and I thought, well, I think I know what's going on here in these markets. I'm just going to trust myself. I see a triple bottom on the half-hour chart in the euro dollar. I believe my eyes. Patterns don't work. I know, but I'm just going to believe in it. You know, like these people that believe in that God's answering their prayers, and look, I'm winning. They just have to make it psychologically okay. All right, I see a triple divergence here. Right here. A nice triple divergence, hidden divergence. Actually, it's diverging away from this projected price pulse. So we see a price pulse here. This is the measured move. Another failure to meet targets. A failure to meet targets. Meanwhile, the vacuum is stacking up. We're going to cash out as it goes towards that. We'll leave a little bit on the table as we drift up maybe to here, but then we're immediately going to come back in with limits because we know 80% of the market's ranging, and I'm going to always be a trolling limit, trailing limits, trolling for dollars. $47. I'm ready to get out at my $50 targets coming up here. We are 6 minutes from the top of the hour. So I'm tempted to go flat here, bank it, come in with very shallow limits now. There's nothing like making money. Okay, there's nothing like that. And I've also got the pending drama here where I'm buying the pullback on the, I'm sorry, that's British pound. I'm in the euro. Same story here. That's why I'm not seeing that triple. Okay, here's the triple bottom. I wonder why it didn't look right. But amazingly, there was a quadruple. There was a bigger drama on the pound. Notice that. But here's the measured move. I'm saying from here to this one. That was the British pound, which gave us quadruple kind of jaggedness because it's a very choppy spread, fluctuating thing, which gives you that chop on your chart because you're only looking at bid here. That's why you see that really good signals on the guppy. Yeah, because the spread's constantly fluctuating, giving you that punctuation on the bid, giving you that like big drama. So here I'm looking at this situation. If we say from here to here, let's measure the price pulse, the lowest close within there, we should be having a target here, and we kind of do. It's so shallow. Now we're punching up. We're looking to go after this, and the window gets steeper. That's the big steep window. And if it pops up here in 4 minutes, okay, so 8:30, like I said I was going to stay till 9. I guess I'll stay till 9. I'll stay till 9 o'clock, and maybe we can make it to this shelf by 9. I'm not going to be too greedy in my target. We can make it to this hole. I know there's a pile of sellers there. I know there's a pile of sellers here and here. I'm cashing out up into that. Maybe it does this. It could do a lot of shit in here. So it's open to multiple scenarios. Once we get in this pool, we could have all sorts of shenanigans. It's probably not going to go like this in the next half hour, so I have to be willing to wait an hour and a half hour chart to get 2 more bars squeezed out of this thing. $161 in margin or investment is Wayne McDonald. So I'm invested $161 and 500 to 1 leverage. I'm at $47.28. I'm kind of 3 minutes at the top of the hour. And it'll auto cash out for me there. Another beauty there is that since I'm going to scale out of this thing, I can just let it happen. $48 now. So we might make 50 by 8 o'clock. That'd be nice. And 75 by 9. So I'm going to cut back my expectations, expect some drift in the 9 o'clock, 9:30. I don't know if there's news coming out. And we could still get filled on the dollar yen plunging. So I have 2 setups running. That's all I can handle, man. I can't do 28 pairs. Just can't do this 4-hour chart. They're coming into my buy limits. I'm going to put in the 8 hours. Aggressive 8 hours in now. 6 pips deep. I'm going to delete these objects just to show you that. Now, like I said, if you had somebody doing this for you, you'd say, if you're going to click shit, every time you click shit, print it out or do a screen save on the time frame, wherever shows up, hopefully on the half hour, so you can verify that all these tickets are dropped in this giant pool of abyssness here. Once we tip into this window, we could have a big gust of wind down, and if these pendings are anywhere from the half hour ones, like I said, those are very aggressive ones. I keep on dropping those if I'm going to sit here just for fun watching a movie, and I'm just like, let's just keep fucking. I'm always experimenting with some more aggressive trade that's, say, maybe a 15-minute script that's like every fucking pip and just being like, oh, let's have some fun. And the other thing, actually, we got 1 minute left now. See how frisky the market gets here 1 minute into the. You can also do this when you play back the market in Strategy Tester. You can watch this drama. So here is the 1 hour chart. Is going to update right now. in about 30 seconds. So we'll have a punctuation mark there. We'll have it closed down. We would be buying at the market. And our market tickets right now lightly with a tight stop. And we have our limits pending below. And I'm going to throw some limits in right now that last for 8 hours. 6 pips deep. 8 hours. 6 to 18 with a 30 pip stop. Those are 1Ks. Now, the best thing to do, unless you have another script that's going to interweave, which I do, is the 15 to 35 with the 50 pip stop, 8 hours. So that takes that whole thing. Now, I could, ideally, I'm going to wait an hour. So 8 o'clock, boom, we just close that candle. And here you go, 5 seconds between candles. Now, I'm going to put in the super deep 12-hour script because I just don't want to have to do this again. This is 25 pip grid. I'm going to delete all objects. So the work would be, you got to take a picture, delete all objects. Now you launch this one. If you're really religious about it, okay, that's the big swing trade, see? Now, when Europe opens, it's completely conceivable the market is slammed down here with a master stop on these 3 1Ks, spaced 25 pips apart, hard written grid. If every hour I drop that and the market's dropping, it's stacking up that same kind of, the contour is the same as like the front run clouds, the clouds that are front run in the market or shifted up and down. But it's that fractal, the way that currency behaves, just projected above or below. I don't have the cell version of that script right now, but you could write it as easily. Just put in same thing, invert the numbers. It's not easy because you have to think upside down now when you write the numbers in there. They got to be positive sell limits instead of negative below market buy limits. You have to say bid and ask, and you have to choose bid and ask too in there. Okay, so that just, we never made the 50. 48 is as good as it got. I could have got out. I'm down $10 from the 48. Now, you could also look at it like that. You could stare at this thing. I've stared at it for hours. And you get used to looking at your equity kind of fluctuate here, and you're like, you know what? Compared to how much money I make, with my prop firm, this is a good trade I'm in, and I can pay for more Asian girls. But, I mean, if you have another source of income, maybe you've got dividends or whatever, you actually getting a dividend from a stock. It's funny that the stock market is so fucking high, and it's actually making new highs. And another really amazing, ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my fucking life is I'm watching this girl on Fox News, pretty hot, and she's talking about because Trump released the transcript of his perfect phone call that the market is now rebounding. I'm like, you're kidding, right? Like, you don't know shit. That's like saying, well, there's fog out because I don't even know. It's not like that at all. In fact, there's no cause and effect there. Do you really think that there's a bunch of heavy hitter traders with their finger at the market? They're trading at the market. They're literally responding to each syllable. The fucking. Are you serious? There's no fucking way. And the guys with the I got a neural net that made so much money from everything that Okay, so you've got the lexicon of everything that could ever happen and has happened in the whole planet. And Uniblab has distilled that into the ultimate execution. Get out of here. What are you fucking... You're kidding, right? No, man. I know this guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. Is his name Robinacci? Yes. How did you know? Fuck. Isn't that always horrifying when those Ponzi schemes? It must have been horrifying for people to go, you're invested with the same guy? Wait a minute. Did he tell you that? Yeah, he told me that too. I'd love to hear. I like being a fly on the wall in that aha moment. Are you trading euro? Are you long the euro dollar like with Simpleton? Yeah, I fell for it. Got in there. Hey, he had this algorithm. No, he copied Nate's algorithm and now he's selling it. He's got a YouTube channel talking about everything ICT talks about. I heard he's making fun of ICT. Now I heard No Nonsense is cheating on his wife with ICT. Somebody thought when I wasn't around that ICT and No Nonsense took me. It took me a ransom. My ex-wife's trying to come up with some money for Being held hostage. I'm in an unsafe room, in an unsafe space. I heard they put him in the unsafe space. Okay, it's a good thing I have the patience to sit here. I just made $50.21 there. $50.82. Not like I'm looking at the equity. I don't trade my equity. I'm not looking at the numbers. I swear to God. No, I'm a very objective trader. My margin usage just went down. I'm very happy about that. That's all I can handle is two currencies, man. I'm a crippled trader. My focus range is so narrow. I can only focus on two things at a time, right and left. Up or down. To or fro. Yin or yang. That guppy is just too brutal. I just would have to have I'd have to have a separate situation for that. I like the idea of trading it, trust me. I mean, it's like, yeah, I guess, driving off-road's fun, but I'm going to need a four-wheeler. Okay, I'm up 55. So it's 5 minutes after, this is another thing I used to talk about in all the videos. You can still see it right here. 5 minutes after the top of the hour is like, wow. Look at that puppy run. Amazing. Now we could get a nice blast here. I feel like getting out right there. Look at this thing. We just closed out that 5 minute chart. Look at that 5 minute, like down and then engulfed. Look at that 5 minute engulf. That's amazing. Wow, that is just a classic. Stop hunt this guy. Rip up in 5 minutes clean. This is the top of the hour. That's 5 minutes after the top of the hour. Still cutting north there. I'm up 51. I kind of want to go flat and buy some ice cream. I don't know if you've ever done that. That's the best feeling in the world. Just get the fuck out of this thing. Throw limits. And if I did that, I'd come in. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to put the limits in. So, or you could put a hedge on, I think, almost at this point. I think you could. Okay, here's my singles tickets. I'm going to come in with 3 pips deep because I just got out of some margin. So I'm going to say, oh, let's get daring. 6 pips for an hour. Too deep. This is where you're really trying to come up on this beast. Come up to it, but don't go over. I'm going to buy that area right there. Because I'm still in. $161 a margin. I'm sorry, investment. I'm going to get very daring. This is my tightest entry is 3 pips. The spread is 0.3 plus 0.2 for commissions. So half a pip spread on this euro. That's amazing. Half a pip spread on the euro. And it does matter if you're trading very big, very close to the market, and trading this Asian session. It definitely is worth. It makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference on the guppy with a 300 pip stop. You could have a 10 pip spread on a currency, and if you got a 300 pip stop, percentage wise, it just doesn't mean shit for a 1K. I mean, it really. There's things that are available on the euro with that amazing spread that aren't available on the other currency. You can get that price kind of on the dollar yen right now. I mean, that kind of spread. Look how tight it just went. I just went to under a half a pip spread here. Another thing, you could look at the 1 minute chart. So look at the spread forming on the 1 minute chart there. Now this is the best. This in a tick chart, you're good. There's that guy I talked to on the stream, and I know he trades the 1 minute chart, but like, if you are a 1 minute trader, you need to draw a trend line right there and assume this is the pullback and this is going to be wave 3. This is 1, 2, 3, and boom, you're out. Like, sellers are above here. And you just ride that thing and you're just like, dude, I just was in 4 standard lots there. I just made $100 bucks, or I just made $80. And you got 1 minute of buy, 2 minute buy at the market. You're up. Your first exit's here. Watch the bid take out that high. That's the sellers coming in. Right, so here, the bears just got filled and they're selling. They're selling new highs in the 1 minute chart. They just got filled. Now they're going to try to pull that back and make some money. This white line, this ask has to get below here for them to get, they're right at break even right now. So you can see there, the 1 minute traders position psychologically, if they sold that, what do they want to have happen? They want to have this ask get below their entry, and every second below is they're in profits and they can take that off the table. Or are they going to have to buy it back because they have a very tight stop here? So when this ask hits that, it fuels more buying. Right. In the 1 minute chart, when the market's going fast, you can trade the 1 minute chart. But the market has to be screaming. Or you could make the you could place an order here to buy this, but this is the bid. The ask is going to be here. I'm sorry, the bid has to come here. You're going to get this price after the market comes down here. You can get this price, but the market's got to come down at least the spread. If you can see the spread, it's a problem, right? If you're trying to trade the fractals here, putting a buy stop here, like a Williams buy stop, not a good idea. You're going to have to buy everything from here down. If you're a buyer, you really want to buy, maybe you do put one here, but at least buy anything below here, and if it's down, if it closes underneath the floor, buy. The sellers, the scalpers are getting out here, right? The scalpers, but then it engulfs, right? It doesn't keep breaking down. I guess we're going to hold this. About $57. Should have got it right there. So that, a lot of people just sold right there. We could rip all the way to here now. So this is a 15-minute trailing buy limit that's 3 pips deep. If I'm going to keep running that rope, I could turn on a robot that just does that. And that is another option, is that the robot has a hotkey and you turn it on. And it's just going to be on all night long. It's going to be looking to buy baby pullbacks. It's a very dedicated robot. That's all it does. And it won't try to do anything else. It's very disciplined too. And you could call it the trailing buy bot, limit bot, 30-minute. You call it that, and that's all it does. And you can have a sell one. And you can have a buy stop bot that religiously every 30 minutes is doing this thing. Turtle trading. It just keeps adding. You can have a buy stop and a buy limit bots running. It's all directed in a direction. You could also have the sell stop, sell limit bot running against it. Now you're in a hedge. Okay, so they just crushed that dollar against the yen here. So hopefully I'm getting filled. So as this euro to the dollar goes up, the dollar yen's crashing, and I hope it's going to come fill me. And here I'm going to get in real aggressive now. 1 hour buy limits, 4 hours, 8 pips deep. 1 hour, 7 pips deep. So this is now when I go down to these singles, I want to start getting in 12 hours, 12 pips. It's a pip an hour. I don't want to duplicate anything at this point, so I'm just going to, because I don't want to wait, so I'm just going to go 13 pips, 2 hours, 15 pips, 8, all day long, 20 pips. That's my favorite. All day long, 20 pips stop to make 60. Don't click that too many times at one time. Wait for the market to move to get the contour, the curve of the market. 25 pips, 8 hours. I like that one. I added these recently. This was in a video I did a few videos ago. So I guess I wish I had a standard link that was always there. I don't know if I got some beta studio. I don't know. YouTube's ridiculous. They asked me a question one time about 3 months ago. How's your experience at YouTube? And then they recently asked me, like, do you like the new beta version? Dude, just leave it alone. I'll figure it out. We got a more fancy editor. And I like how they had this thing where they let you edit and then they go, we're going to turn that off. That feature's going away. Is it now? How about this? Here, I got a pro tip. Leave it the fuck alone, dude. Windows 3.11. You're good. Now get me some beer. I don't need all this fucking shit. I like drag and drop though. What the fuck? Here is 12 hours 35 pips. Now I know it's never going down there in 12 hours. Oh yeah? Just wait. Okay, I'm picking up some margin here on the yen. I noticed I got $165 of margin. So I'm trying to hand off to the. I can't only look at if I just had two currencies here. Okay, so look at the pullback, right? What I tell you. Now, did somebody just make money on that? They're probably out. They're up and out. You know somebody did that trade. Somebody had to do that trade. They sold here. Look at the spread tighten up underneath the floor here. I wonder why. Jeez, I can't figure this out. So there's the stop hunt, right? Took out that lonely wick. People are getting that price right now. But are they really going to buy that much? Are they going to buy here, buy here, buy here, buy here? And are they going to buy here for the next 10 minutes? I mean, the next half hour, the next 4 hours? So I'm very conservatively buying, like, all the way back here. I'm up in this trade. I feel like I should have really got out here, and because I'm picking up limits, and this is the reason why trading two currencies is difficult, because I'm picking up a few tickets on that dollar yen. But they can move in concert. Or they could move almost in concert, and when they're out of sync, it's in my favor, because if I'm long both of those and they go out of sync, supposedly, right, because the dollar is the lead on the other one. Look at the buyers coming here. Now the hammer, this is a 1 minute hammer. People are buying at the market. I guarantee you, if I was buying this, I'd buy at the market, but I'm already in. And I'll watch the 1 minute chart and say, I'm already in this thing. I like these confirmations. I'm getting confirmation from this right now. Now they are plunging this dollar yen. So I'm going to hold this till 9 o'clock, another 45 minutes. We just updated the 15-minute chart, by the way. That's where you're kind of seeing this drama here. The 15-minute traders just pulled the trigger and went long. So how do you know that? Some guy asked me, how do you know that? I don't know that, but if you were a 15-minute trader, you would be making money at that turnbuckle and a reversal on the 15. So it's a viable thing. Or here, I guess it's actually up. We closed up the last 15 minutes. We didn't close down. But if you closed down this 15, you just would have bought that one. You wouldn't have bought this one. You're just going to hold. So how do you know the 15-minute traders loaded the wagon here? Somebody loaded the wagon there. Somebody in the 15, this is a great strategy. You buy the 15-minute pullback. It's not available on the half-hour chart. Well, let's go to the 5-minute chart and trade then, if that's the case, and make even more money. Okay, now it's tough. Now you could be over trading. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. If that's true, let's go to that's the other question. Does it work on the 1-minute chart? Yeah. But like I said, if the spread was 0 and you had like a big toolbox of trades that you could be like, okay, I'm in 50K, just got up 200K, I just traded him, I'm in 10K, he's kind of drifty. I guess, right? But then, how much mouth you got to buy? A 1-minute chart. I mean, the 1-minute chart in a noisy session, it's actually, the market's moving right now. I mean, we're down. The half-hour chart's starting to really come unwrapped here on the yen. Into the bottom of the hour. So 9:30-ish. The more I look at it, the more I think, just let it go. Fuck it. I'm not in that big. I was in $700 of margin before to make $1,800 to make $1,000 per price pulse, and then I was only in about maybe $200 or $100 of margin during the accumulation phase and the sideways thing, and then I got the market, and then when the Dow Jones opened, I loaded up. But then I did dump. So I'm not running this where I'm trying to ride a giant swing and money management be damned. I'm saying I can see where the reversals should be coming. Let's get the fuck off the train. We rode a nice run, very fast, very quick money, very good run. The market cycle. The other guys come in. They take their turn at abusing your prop house ladies, and then goes the other way. So We could franchise it too. Like these haircut places, like Borex. Hey, a lot of women there cutting hair. Maybe that's where we should get our ladies from, is these salons. I just show them just give them a trade plan and nice monitors. I would say for them, we're going to have hair curlers and stuff in the bathrooms. The bathrooms will have to be, they'll go to the bathroom together, so that might be a problem. We have to have somebody man the desk, or a woman the desk. They have a bathroom and squeal. They go to the bathroom and squeal together. They do. Look at this 15-minute chart. Big bullish move there. So you probably would have sold there on the 50-minute traders have sold. Good work. We get a top become a bottom here possibly too. My orders are conservatively placed. Like these are 8-hour tickets, so these could fill. And if this closes down in 10 more minutes, we will be at the bottom of the hour, and I would justify buying one at the market, but I'm not going to get in too heavy because I have exposure here. Oh, we just got to bounce on the... So the stop hunt's over on the yen. This is our first good scalp on the yen. We just took out a really deepish vacuum on dollar yen. So the problem with the multiple currencies, we have to keep popping over to the other currency and see what the fuck's going on here. So stop hunt has been achieved. We took out this goober. And the guys that got him the cash out here, the question is, are sellers going to come in here enough to keep driving it into this vacuum and ultimately come down here and fill me on my buy limits? I will get in very heavy here. I will get in medium, and I will get in light. So light, medium, hard, light, medium, heavy, martingale. I suppose the anti-martingales get in heavy here and then let it stop you out and get in light, 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 and survive the swing trade in a light manner. It looks like it's tanking again. The scalpers have gotten out, I think. If you go to the 5-minute chart, compress a little bit here so we can get the landscape, we get that view of the timing of the 5-minute chart. And now it's work all of a sudden. So we broke down, we pulled back, confirmation traders come in here. Is it a real breakdown? Looks like we're going lower. And here's where I'm going to try to get in front of it. Since here is my 12-hour 13 pips. I like that. Perfect. Another perfect phone call. Here is 9 pips, 8 hours. These are all perfect phone calls. I like what you did. Thanks for sending us the fucking cocaine and guns. Appreciate that. We have alert soldiers now. Thank you very much. Thanks for the Lebanese hash. We're able to sleep at night. Okay, here is 25 pips deep, 8 hours. Looks like the scalpers have it. They've trapped the goobers again. I mean, the people that think this is the breakout, I think that's the breakout. Or I think this is the breakout. In fact, I think this is the real breakout on the 1-hour chart. Obviously. And maybe you've scalped it here, maybe you're buying a limit. So you make money out of the gate here. Here was the trap, the last hurrah. We have a 2-period 1-hour divergence at the top here. This is 0. I'm sorry, there's 0, 1, 2. The 1-2 punch starts to roll over. Bang against the 25. We've taken out this serious shelf. This was the cause for this effective pullback. This is the order block. Okay. If you love ICT people, I think they would call this I call that the rooftop order block. Okay, I'm just giddy about this plunge here as I make money on my euro. So one guy's up, down, the other guy's perfect. Now they're synced. The dollar's getting crushed. Yeah, it's because of that discount window. We don't know. No, it's because Trump just fell. Trump just tweeted that he's going to impeach himself. He's like, fuck you. It's like Blazing Sails. Don't shoot the sheriff. So, the sheriff's got a gun to his own head. Don't shoot. He's got the sheriff with a gun. Climbing north on the euro. So here's the 1 hour view. Still coming after this, my big target. Like I said, it should be at $75. If we can hit that, we should be at $75. This target. See, now it's kind of confusing because I got left over the old. That's why I say those prices don't matter anymore. This does matter as far as we're trapped below that floor, but this is the vacuum. It's a different situation there. So I'm going to delete objects on this. Like I said, this is the target. Because we've already cut into this hole. We're in that window now. That is the next vapor lock. This 1 hour vapor. That's the big one, the 1 hour. It's going to take quite a bit to get it back to this low, which may have nothing to do with that kind of looking back in the chart low. That's the other. Okay, that's the other low. Let's see. Let me take a look here. I'm just going to zoom out. Instead of changing time frame, there's the other way to change the time frame. You just compress this chart. I'm only looking back 2 days, you know. I know that the ICT guys on the 15-minute chart, see, here's ICT view of the market. To me, this is just maddening. I mean, this makes me say, I can see the trade plan right here. So my version, this is looking back 2 days on a 15-minute chart. My view of this world is, here's Asia. We tumble down. I'm long on limits. I've scalped out of something. It heats up like this. If it's up here, I'm running limits for hours. I'm buying these. I'm just buying all this plunge shit. I can make enough money during that bullshit. And then when it comes into Asia, you put the hedge on, right? You're not getting filled on these limits. Okay, so the rate of change here is so vicious that you're getting filled on the 4 hour limits. Here you're not. It's taking too long to get to the limits. The hedge is, even the turtle traders are making money here as it drifts down. Then the buyers come in off of this. This is the 15-minute chart. This is the ICT order block. Comes in, the dead cat bounce off of that, the round number. But this is where the midday hedge, or just, it's kind of hard here on the 15, right? Because you're waiting for like 2 hours of up, and then selling. Or you're running that trailing limit, sell limit behind this whole mess. Or you really are, because this is too volatile maybe for you to put your hedge on. But if you belt a hedge during this, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And you got targets in mind of 50 pips here, you would let that unfold. The only other chance to board the train in a... Okay, so structurally speaking, if this is the bottom, breakout, pullback, confirmation traders come in there. Plus the people that thought this was going to go up. The scalpers are getting out. The revolving door is right here. When this screams down like this, hopefully you're cashing out of something you got when the volatility is low, because the volatility obviously can get to a rate of change like this. This rate of change is possible. When the market's vicious, unless they're filling your limits here, you're not selling into that, or even maybe you're buying into it at the end of each 15 minutes down. But if you sell into that when it's moving that fast, you're just getting trapped. Okay, they're bouncing the yen now. So sellers just came into this euro. You see how that worked? Bottom of the hour in 1 minute. So we could have pulled all of the euro off the table right there. I would have been fine with doing that and putting limits in shallow now. So you just gotta keep, this is like it's like a storm that's coming at you. You have to keep fucking adjusting. Or if you're trying to get to sleep and the blanket falls off, you gotta keep, oh, it's just too hot, it's too cold, but you know, I'm not comfortable, roll over, I had a bad dream. Market's always adjusting, and of course, 8:30 is coming. I want to go half-hour chart right now, so I have to zoom in to see what's really going on, because all this shit back here is all, it's not making any sense, right? It's not worth trading. So they tagged the window here. See the reaction? That was another seller's window. It's painfully obvious. Right there. Right? A lot of people just went short there. I said that like a fucking hour ago. A lot of people are going to... Here, I got to fix the scale now. So here's another big trick. Broker doesn't want you to know this. If you're only trying to make like 20 pips, then you only want to see 20 pips here. So if you're trading in Asia, and it looks like I can't see the trade. Okay. I want to see the spread too. Like I stretch this till I see, okay, my enemy is the spread. Let's start over. Delete objects. Put the rectangle in on the rooftop of that wick. Where's the vacuum we just filled up, and where's the one that I said we need to sell? This is the cash out window. Anything up there? Just put one up there. Jesus. Let's just start over here. What is the deepest hole? Okay, here. Right. What is the next deepest hole? You got to see this bid. I mean, you got to see how narrow this is. Somebody is short off of this top. I guarantee you. And if they aren't, they should be, because this happens over again and again. Does it not? Somebody just got filled there by placing their order. This is the max zoom that MetaTrader allows. They stop hunted a bear there. Was that a good place to sell? With a tight stop? Was it or was it not? That's your order block. Or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's your deepest vacuum on this chart. But see how deep the market is? There's like 2 pip bets in that thing. Somebody just made money. And where was their exit? Probably here. I don't know if they hit it yet. I just lost that thing. It's there. It's just so fucking shallow. How deep is this market? It's so fucking seriously deep. So the guy that sold that is like, okay, where's my exit going to be? Maybe he's already out. Maybe he's out. Right? It's 2 minutes after the half hour. He's probably out. His logical exit had to be this top. The breakout. Breakout, pullback, confirmation traders come in. He's got to be aware of that. Because this thing's got a lot of vacuum above it. But that was a scalp. Was it not? Is this thing going to go all the way down to here? Maybe not. It's got too much momentum. But was there liquidity here? Were there sellers in a 2 pipette range there? Yes. Can you make a living off that trade? No, because how often do you see that fucking... Are you going to trade super fucking heavy? And just make, what, 2 pips here or something in this fucking trade? So we're in concert here. The Dow Yen's dropping. If the euro can take out that wick from the last 30 minutes, you're only looking for a 30-minute. These are 30-minute bars. So it's like I'm looking at the structure of the market, and this is low volatility. The current bar is low volatility. It hasn't got that hot yet. Like I said, it's auto cash out for me. As soon as this lower white line makes it to any of these green lines, it's going to auto cash out. Amazingly, without even trying, my algo, my take profit is just before that rooftop. So it's not a greedy exit. I know there's sellers galore above here. We could put a big ticket here, but where's our exit going to be? It's got to have to be here or here or here. Because once it takes that out, what if it just pulls back a little bit and just keeps fucking pounding north? Are we going to ride up into that? I'm going to ride into that. So I'm going to scale out into where the sellers are. I'm going to buy the plunge on the yen tonight. And I'll see if I get to $5,000 on this thing by tomorrow by Asia. So in the next 24 hours, I'm going to try to make another $500. I'm not going to trade as heavy as I did in the beginning, so it will take the account up to 4,600. We can get some more. We can interview some more girls for the prop house because we have to take them out to dinner. That's part of the introductory. You know, when you're grooming the personnel for the, we have to come up with new terminology for the room too, so people don't understand what we're doing. We need to take the personnel to the salon and get them primped and prepped. We have to, orientation day, we call it. Anyways, I'm giving away all my my great business plan ideas along with these trade plans. You got to think about this stuff. I got to find some computer nerd that wants to create voiceovers for the personality platform, the MT4 persona platform. The get her done. Do you want to be the get her done trader? You know how that when you have some stupid game. Do you want to be the country? What do you want to be in Monopoly? I want to be the shoe. Yeah, what do you want to be in the trading is so fucking boring, dude. I think that's what they forget to tell people. It's only exciting if you're losing tons of money. Okay, so, and I think gold's had it. I can draw my first bearish trend line on gold. See you, gold. I'm looking for gold coming back to 1,400 now. Gold's had it. I love these people. You gotta buy gold. Look, it broke out. Did it now? It broke out, and you're gonna buy it now? Oh well. This is why Dodd-Frank was invented. We only have ourselves to blame, people. All the gooberettes. Nice buy setting here up on the dollar CAD. It just walked down the half-hour chart. It's cheaper than it was before. Hey, listen, if you love it at this price, you'll love it at that price. We're cutting north on the... like I said, the 15-minute traders pulled the trigger here. That's the 15-minute chart. And they have pulled the trigger on that slight pullback with a tight stop. And they're looking for to take out the... they're going after, they're going to stop hunt those goddamn scalpers that ruin their life. Look at that double top there. Look at that 1 minute chart. Look at that thing banging on resistance. Support resistance don't work, son. I told you. This 1 minute chart, by the way. How about that 1 minute chart, dude? Yeah, I mean, 1 minute chart, you're buying everything here. Buy, buy, buy. Every minute it's down, you're buying. Are you kidding me? You're in a 10K already. Just don't be surprised if they take they hit this and they trip all those stops down there. Those would be my limits. I'd be buying more down there. No, I think they're going to get off of this blue line now. Go do some stop hunting, son. Bankers can see your stop stacking up. All those retail guys trying to ride a trend. What we're going to do is, since we're a big banker, aren't we? Sure we are. We're buying. We're offsetting our cash drawdowns on the discount window, but yeah, sure we're true. Dude, we're Bear Stearns. Can you imagine the fucking, if this VP guy's any indication of the IQ of the average fucking hedge fund trader? Can you imagine what it's like there? I don't know. Ralph said it was a good idea to get into this. I mean, the volatility was higher than it was past our they admit to using VP's 1% of ATR per blown account. Yeah, we did what he said. Oh, you know, there's nothing like working at a corporation. You ever been in Starbucks where it's like, dude, it's like 42 degrees in here. I know. Can you guys turn up? Nope. Corporations control. They said it's a corporate thing, the thermometer. Is it now? Can you hand out blankies like we're on the fucking airplane? What's wrong with this? I know you can't sleep in the Starbucks or do a real estate deal, but dude, come on. Or it's never hot as fuck in there. You never go to Starbucks and go, whew, somebody turn on the air. No. It's like prepped for fucking Eskimos and polar bears. Maybe that's what it is. Save the polar bears, send them to Starbucks. That's cool. Great. Now, yeah, so then you're wearing a hijab or what a towel on your head? No wonder they're fucking dressing like that. The dollar CAD's going up. Anyways, I'm going to go watch a movie, like I said. I don't have the patience for this shit, dude. I want to get out of this euro. Now, the 1 minute euro, you're like, oh, God, look at this fucking thing. On the half hour, you're like, oh, look at that. Should have got out there where the sellers came in. But they sucked me back in. Look at that. Looks like I could break out at any minute on that. So when you do a time frame thing, if you ever sat here and just look at the 1 minute, look at the 5, and this is why you want to fix the scale. Because the 5 minute chart makes sense like this. The 1 hour, and the 1 hour makes sense like this. The 4 hour, you're like, the daily, you're like, oof, I don't even know what you're trying to do there. The 1 minute, you're like, I see what's going on. The 5 minute, I see what's going on. Here, you know, between the 5 minute and the 1 minute, you can see what's going on. Look at that. Okay. I like this setup here. Oh, I love the 15. The 15 minute has to be the best chart for trading at the market. Look at this. Got top, coming bottom possibly here. My limits are deleting themselves every half hour. I should have a 1 pip deep ticket. And I drop, ooh, look at that, doing the stop hunt. Oh, I want to buy at the market right now. So, here's the scalps at the market. 7 pip stop. Looking to make 9 pips, looking to make 7. I'll bite. I'm buying right there. Yep. 15-minute chart. Updates in 3 minutes. I'll buy that. So I didn't buy the last 15, and it's that last one was down technically a little bit. This one's deeper pullback. It's more oversold, higher price, and I've got limits really deep, and I got my finger on the fucking 5 pip stop to make 12. As soon as they stop hunt this guy, I'm pulling the trigger. I can't wait. I'm buying right now. So I'm going to buy this pullback at the market. Finally, it's some excitement. I'm buying with a 6 pip to make 12. 6 pip stop to make 12. I want another 5 to make. Let's see, what's the. I don't have any bad. They're all good ratios. So, these are not really what they seem unless there was a zero spread, no commission. But here, 5 to make 12. That's pretty good. Okay, so one more. I got 2 more minutes of buying in front of me here. Unless they crush it down and hit those limits, would just be amazing. And I got my finger on the trigger. As soon as they start to stop hunt this, I'm buying. So I'm buying right now. Again, I'm going to buy all the way down. This is the only gratification I really get about buying at the market. Is just I got limits here, and I'm going to buy at the market every 30 seconds. Come on, bring it. I'm only up $25 now. Taking on more margin. I'm slightly long on dollar yen. I finally got filled, so I'm in a hedge now. I'm slightly long dollar yen. And so that's good, right? It's very difficult. Okay, I'm up like a buck. No, I'm up like $2 on my dollar yen trade. And I bought this plunge here at the market. Okay, so now I'm up $30 overall. I took another $20 on margin, another 5K, and I like this pullback. I like adding to this. So I could have dumped the whole thing, but if that's true, then I would have bought 50% of it back on the pullback here with the limits still beneath me. So I'm not going to, because I'm in that dollar yen thing, it's kind of protecting me a little bit. So I'm up 33 bucks overall. This could still plunge, and I've got 1 minute of buying left. So this is kind of fun. I got this great price here, or I could have placed a limit there. I didn't get a very good price here because I bought it as it was dropping. Okay, the 15-minute chart just updated. I'm going to buy at the market. And I'm going to put a wide stop in of 3. And I'm going to put a 9 pip stop. And a 10's my widest. 10 to make 20 is a classic. 10 pips to make 20. And they're coming after those limits that were 8-hour limits. So I think these might be the half hours. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is a single drops that I put in like 1 hours, 1 hour, 3 pips deep. And here comes the dollar yen starting to go up. I've locked this in at the end of 15 minutes. So I pulled the trigger like I was supposed to, and I had to be here for this trade. I had to do that market order on the 15. Boom. That's the only justification I could see in a market order, or I had a really nice tight pack of limits here, which would have filled just as well. We don't have to be here for these trades. When the market was up there, and the bears are loving that scalp, they finally made their fucking money. And they're cashing out into the other stop hunt. So if you go from wick to wick, they sold here. You can see their trade plan. They sold here, and their ultimate target is when it goes here. And maybe they buy back and go the other way, and then they're going to sell above that wick, and then they're going to buy below that. They can buy here. Like I'm buying all the way down. I'm not in big enough to worry about it. I bought some more at the market. I'm almost $200 in margin now, but I have very tight stops. If this doesn't work, then it's not going to be the end of the world. That moment I was up 50 bucks here, about 55 bucks. Could have cashed out. I knew that was a big deal. And on the 15, notice you have this wick too. So this is a real powerful area. Can't see that on the half hour. This is the wedge. This is the hole, right? That's the hole. It's very compressed. This is deeper vacuum. So there's a big shelf to that. It's a bridge too far. Once it got to here, it took out the deepest prices in time. That's the looming vacuum I was talking about. It's a reversal window too. Also, when you get this amazing, but I'm not looking at this pattern and saying, let's make a trade decision. No. You had to get in on that. After the fact, you probably end up with a Williams dumb shit fractal here, but I'm not putting a buy stop here to get picked up in the bull. No, I either cashed out or I went short here in a fresh position, and now I'm buying into this. I got buy limits all the way down, and every 15 minutes down, I'm just going to keep buying. So I'm done buying. I'm going to wait 15 minutes, and I'm going to pull the trigger again. Okay, so I'm going to stop this tape, and I'm gonna, you know my trade plan. That's how it is tonight. I'm buying every 15 minutes. It's down at the market with a tight stop and kind of wide. 9 pips, 10 pips, my widest here at the market. 12. Here I'm going to buy at 12 to make 25. Oops. 12 to make 25. I'm going to do a 3K right now. And I got limits sitting down here. Let those fill. I'm long dollar yen. And that's just how it's going to be. I'm in $202 of margin. Now if they plunge it, and I might get stopped out of some of these tight stops, but that's okay. I'm going to pick up a lot of limits here, staggered limits, and I should probably drop a couple more shallow limits here. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to hit every one of these 15, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 pips deep, 1 hour. Just going to fill this whole thing up. I'm duplicating the price, but I'm not duplicating the stop or the length of the ticket. These all have unique time expirations, and they all have. So this is very aggressive because I'm literally going to buy the next 10 pips. 20K laying there. So you can see the arrows coming in. That's my exposure. That's the possible scenarios. You plunge down there, fill that, bounce back out, and we're on our way. We're up $30 right now. So we're coming up with a floor here. Also, the half-hour traders will be coming in the next 10 minutes, along with the 15-minute and the 5 minutes. All those people come together. All those algos and all the people all the markets. And at 9 o'clock, it's a big deal. Every hour that goes by is a big deal in these fucking markets because every country that has news, baby news, big news, all that stuff, and then the holes are going to fill, and people are going to freak out when London opens, and you could trade the guppy, and you could trade the British pound when London opens, but be ready for some drama. I mean, have a scenario in mind, even if it's one ticket, but just keep trading the demo and just keep hacking at it. If you can make $100 a day on a demo with $1,000, you should be, on 20K. I don't know, 50K. I don't know what it takes. I don't know what you're looking for. Here, look at this beautiful. See, locking that in at the market. I'm not going to buy any more now. I'm already long from deep down. This was the add-on on the 15. I did what I said I was going to do. Every 15 minutes down, I buy. I'm locked in. Not going to touch it. Now, I could say on the half hour if it's down, I'll buy. And that might be good too. Something's coming out. This is getting very frisky. There must be news coming out at 9 o'clock. Or it's just Asia. Look at this friskiness. It's very interesting. Look at the 5-minute chart. So the 5-minute traders, you can see what they're thinking. They kept pulling the trigger. Every 5 minutes down, and it's down a lot on the 5. That's a signal to buy. If it's really down a lot in 5 minutes, buy. Why? Because that's how to make fucking money. It's down a lot, buy. It's up a lot, sell. It's down a lot, buy. It's up a lot, sell. When it's just down a little bit, okay, buy, but it's going to be a long. It's not going to. It's the volatility's dried up. It's down, we buy. We don't buy anymore now. We're done buying. It may go blowing this top off. We don't know that. Dollar yen's going up. Dollar yen's going up. So is the euro to the dollar. So now they're not in sync. Okay, this is when the wheels come off at 9 o'clock. This correlation, there's no correlation now. That's why my equity's up at $45, right? This is the problem with anything more than two currencies, in my opinion. Because look at this. I'm going to go dollar yen now. What do you see? Dollar yen, nice hammer. We got filled down here in this wick. Right, what's going on here? Look at this thing fucking take off. They're both taking off. Wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be the dollar. I'm using the dollar index. Blah, 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 blah. Did about $49. Okay, if this blows off the top, this cashes out, and we can ride both of these until 9:30. Right? Hard down on the 15, buy. Correlations are just going to fuck up you're overthinking it. Oh, these should be. I did that. It destroyed my brain. I was like, oh, these things should be correlated. They were synced up earlier. One was going up, the other was going down. But then now they're out of sync. They're moving in concert. I think what it is, in my honest opinion, because I was lying up to this point, the spreads are tightening. Every currency is kind of going up. Everything's going up. Dollar CAD's going up. Is the British pound going up? Kinda. Right? British pound's kind of like a little bit of. Looks like it wants to make a new high. It wants to. This pops off this. The scalpers have had their fun. They've traded wick to wick on the half hour. See? I told you. Now we could get out of everything, go flat right now. You're getting overconfident. It's very dangerous what you're doing. It was a very good phone call. It's a perfect phone call. Look at this. Look at this tagging at the 50-yard line there. Sting. Stuck at the 50. He's at the 50. He's at the 20. It's first down and we're out. Scalped. I'm trying to keep my eye on two currencies here. So I'm in dollar yen's doing well. So is the. So they're all doing very well. You have a very nice portfolio. What's your prop house? What's Becky's? Is Becky's? She's the scalper, isn't she? Yeah. And she does other things too. Well, you know Candy. You met her before in the Rogue Wave room. Yeah, let's get a Rogue Wave room. That'd be cool. I'm seeing a lot of. How about a mirror ball? A mirror ball connected to the stop hunt. I don't know. We got to get some kind of plan going here. Okay, so they're stop hunting me again. See how they grabbed that? Did you see that? I hope we cashed out on something. Did you see them come up and clip that wick on the 15? Oh, they let you have a few pips, but look at them rip it back. Oh, fuck. You're right. Look at 5 minutes before the top of the hour. They're manipulating the market again. God damn it, Martha. We're never going to make money. I put my stop right down there. Damn nabbit, those fuckers. I know they're manipulating the market. VP was right. They'll let me have a few pips, but then they snatch it all away. It's so cruel. I was in so big there, too. God damn this fucking forex. I know, it's just wrong. I'm 5 minutes here, and then I swear I'm done. 9 o'clock, I wrote it out, I swear to God. I did what it was. I'm a disciplined trader, God damn it. I hung in there. They tried to stop hunt me. I said, fuck them. I bought that 5 minutes before the top of the hour. Man, there must be news coming out here at 9 o'clock. Something's going to rock. I'm cashing out for certain up here, man. That's written in stone. Just make me $40 here. Take the account to $4,200. That's fine with me. Okay, 4 minutes left to the top of the hour. Okay, dollar Swiss, 15-minute chart, going up. So is dollar CAD, by the way. Everything's going up. Here was the entry here. Spread's not the greatest here. 1 pip plus, not a good spread. And not a big mover to justify it. So kind of a shitty currency to trade, honestly. Dollars. Besides, you never know when they're going to depeg it. Can't trust those fuckers no more. Let them make cheese. Get the fuck out of here. So here's the, we're engulfing to the scalper's exit. Now I could get out of this one. I have my finger on the take all profits on this one, or should I let it run? I'm definitely got to get out of something here. If we can pop the cork that there. So I could take all profits right now at the top of the hour, or should I let it go for what's behind door number 3? I'm going to let them both go. 3 minutes left. Doomsday time clock here. Can't you see the globe's warming? What the fuck is wrong with these people, man? I'm telling you what, politics right now. Watching these Democrats with this impeachment shit is fucking right out of like, I don't think you really can't even, if you did a comedy like that, people go, it's not funny. It's just like, nobody would do that. No, they're doing it. Why are you going to impeach the president? Because he's been talking to me. Because he tweets. Can't you see he's upsetting my portfolio? Hello? Time to impeach the president because he's making the spreads too wide with every time he tweets. Can't you see what he's doing to the crude oil market? The self-healing mechanism of the markets is amazing. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. If you listen to the radio, news comes at the top of the hour. So whenever I hear the top of the hour, I go look at my charts. 1 minute to the top of the hour. At the tone the time will be. They got rid of that lady too. They fired that robot. Robots lose their job. Every 10 seconds she'd say the tone of the time was, she was like, oh, Bitcoin's at a discount. I think I want to get some Bitcoin. Look at 8,300. Look at Bitcoin. What a nice buy. Beautiful. It's time to nibble at some Bitcoin again. Okay, I'm still waiting. We got about 30 seconds here. I'm sorry, 15 seconds to the top of the hour. I think it's time to troll for some Bitcoin here. I like it. End of the month's coming too, people. Brace yourself. Oh, I like Bear Stearns. Here, 5 seconds. I like Bear Stearns came out. Listen, if you're listening to these fucking idiots like Bear, well, they're saying that October's going to be vicious. I bet you October's fucking dead. Fade these idiots. These fucking idiots. You gag a maggot with this shit. CNN and all their fucking bullshit. Clickbait. It's just clickbait, dude. Really, just say we're doing clickbait promos, man. This is all fake news. It's just clickbait. It's just to get people pissed off. What's sad is that the U.S. government is fucking clickbaiting us. We're going to impeach the president. Are you? Yeah, we're starting proceedings. No, you're not. You're a fucking politician. You're supposed to use the legalese terms for shit. We don't have to. We're politicians. We're just scumbags that were voted into office. We're your lowest of low parasites. Low IQ. Is there an IQ test to be a fucking politician? No. Obviously. Fucking retarded motherfuckers. You know, let's face it, Trump doesn't have a big art collection. I don't think he's a great getter done. He has he's very logical. You don't have to be a deep person. He's one of the few people that is not a politician. That is the beauty. Can't people see the beauty of that? Oh, clean, logical. Yeah, his IQ's too high to be a politician. I got it. Just fucking parasitical cunts like Yang. This piece of shit with his thought. It's a patriot wage. Fuck you. I'm gonna come get your guns. Fuck you. I got your gun ready. I'm staying in both these currencies. Yeah, I got your gun ready for you. Love that guy. You can come pick it up anytime. I'm at $48. God damn it! I lasted till 9 o'clock. Okay, so I'm gonna let this thing cook. I'm getting out of this dollar yen though. Watch me take profits on this thing. Fuck these assholes. I ain't got time for this shit. I can't watch this in the background. Boom, we're out. See ya. Okay, so I took advantage of that. I want to get the fuck out of that thing. I'm putting buy limits down here. Now I'm getting cranky. I got to get something to eat. And that's it. I'm done. So I'm done with the dollar yen. We're riding the euro all night long. The euro looks gorgeous. It's perfect. Terrific. We had a terrific phone call here. Look at this thing. Are you selling this thing? I hope you bought back your short from this collapse into insanity. We have a triple bottom on this monthly. We've got a triple bottom on the yearly chart and the weeklies. The weekly triple bottom on the weekly. Wow, look at that thing. Insanity. So I like the idea of that. Buying the euro here. I'm gonna leave the yen to. I'm flat on the yen now, and I scalped to the floor here. And I'm gonna let this thing cook. I've got all these limits tonight. If the news comes out, now I'm gonna go I'm gonna do that 12-hour script now. So look at this. This is the 25 pip every 12 hours. So it's very deep state. This goes all the way down. It's slightly higher than the last one. And I've got the 8-hour, 15. I like that. I've got the very aggressive. I'm still going to put one more 8-hour 6 pip deep. Looks very aggressive when I do it on this. Now, if I fix the scale here, which I didn't do yet on this pair, but I fix the scale here and stretch it so I can really see, oh, could this fill? It looks very unfillable. On the 4-hour chart, now, I like this 15. I'm going to delete all objects now. Delete all objects. Okay, buy limits 10 pips deep, 4 hours. I like that. I like this 15. This is the very aggressive 30 minute, 30 minute, 30 minute again. That doesn't bother me. That's not risky. And let's see. I gotta have that one that's. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the singles, and I'm gonna try to get in on the 20 pips deep here. 8 hours, 25 8 hours, 12 hours, 30 pips. I want to be as far away from this wick in the long run as possible. This wick, everything below here. And then this is the new lower shelves here. I just lost control of my mouse. I'm looking at this hole, this void left behind this one. Then it's really steeped here, and then this hole. So I want to have orders in there. That's where the money management bots got kind of stop hunted there, and they got all choppier. So I expect choppiness. That's why you really had to get out there. Maybe put some buy limits in, and now it's all wobbly. Okay, so that's it. We're going to ride the dollar, the euro to the dollar tonight. So we're on the other team. We humped and dumped the dollar yen. Now they're going to do the same trade plan, the retracement scheme on the good old euro dollar, the most manipulated currency on the planet. Look how they're manipulating it down. I know, man. Yeah. So this view is disturbing on the daily. On the weekly here. Here's the weekly. And you can kind of make sense of that weekly. Right? Here's how most people draw trend lines. So, but for us, it's still in a downtrend. Maybe if I went to the daily chart. No, not quite. But there's the daily, 4 hour, hourly. Now it looks very bullish. Doesn't it? We're going after that wick. We are long. We were up $56. By 9:30, we should be up $70. We're crashing through. We had a chance to buy that half hour. I did buy the 30 minute. I bought the 15. Right? I'm not going to buy any of these. I bought those two 15-minute bars down. Now I'm cashing out something right now. I dumped the dollar yen, and I put in pullbacks. On the 15, I sold my winners. I'm going to buy these limits. I'm going to get in 20 pips deep. I'm going to get in 8, 4 hours 8, 8 hours 11 pips, 12 hours 12 pips. What else? About $55. We're trying to get to 4,200. We're $23 away from our target. We'll be at, if we're up $70, we'll be good. This could pull back now, and then we're going to go to the, close this out 9:30. We should be popping through the top of that, I hope. So why did it do this? Is because it hit these wicks. And why did it go up? Because it hit those wicks. And we also had the 15-minute people that buy pullbacks joining the party. I expect sellers here. This is a big deal. So this window goes back. Let's see how deep this window goes back. So let me take a look at this. Delete all objects. Then we have I'm going to put the blue line right at the top of this wick, because this one never, I'm sorry, that one did get triggered. But since I'm on the 15-minute chart, it's going to reveal the ICT order blocks. They start up here now. So I'm going to say from here to here, well, this is a turtle soup order block, actually. This is huge order block. So from the top of that wick, it's all fair game to sell. And we will be cashing out into that, and this is going to be, the ultimate is this one, and then that one. If we take them out like a zipper. Okay, they're pulling back the dollar yen, so we just, and we just got what we could out of that trade. I like the idea of buying the pullback on dollar yen. Now they are in sync. Dollar yen's going down, and the euro dollar's going. They go in and out of correlation. 9:30 is coming, so 20 minutes. I'm not gonna. So yeah. So there you go. There's 3 hours of nonsense, and I'm gonna post this thing, and I'm just gonna sit back, watch a movie, and hopefully we're gonna hit these blue windows and I'll cash out on something, get to $4,200. And then just keep plodding along here. Using the 4-hour charts, the dailies, 2 currency pairs. Dollar CAD, I don't know. It's just not enough. The spread just sucks. It's at 1 pip right now. It's just not something you can trade in Asia. And I also like the idea of the triangulation of euro to the dollar, dollar to the yen. You have euro, yen, when Asia opens, and then Europe opens, and US, and it's just a simple world. It's just a simple world. There's really only thing attaching those two is the yen. The dollar. So it's more like, hey, here's the dollar. Okay, so the euro's making a run for the border here as we come into the bottom of the hour. We're going to make a run to that blue window. I'm almost certain we can get that once we get into that blue window, there'll be a big drama, and we could get some speed into that blue area. Otherwise, we're going to just drift here sideways or even go down. But this looks like a classic kind of, if we look back what's happened so far, when we got above this thing, this was the so-called top become a bottom from this bottom of the saucer here, what do you call it? Clear the trees. Here comes the people going, you know what? We broke out. We were in a very tight consolidation down here. Drifting up. This is the biggest pullback we've had. The 15-minute traders were able to buy 2 contracts there, or two positions, because they had one pullback to justify another pullback, a deeper, more oversold at a higher price. And just got to trip this double wick, pop up 9:30, cash out. Okay, so I'll try to update this thing on the next window. Coming into Europe, if I turn on the recorder and record that if there's something exciting, I don't know. I kind of, like I said, would the big computer went down. I lost my momentum. I had all the charts up, and I had all the other things, the index I was curious about. I don't trade, but DAX and all that shit. I had the Hang Seng, and I had like every fucking index up there, and I was keeping tabs on crude and all that stuff, and for to test yourself at guessing directions of stuff, it's fun, or even reversal areas that are on the chart, it's fun. But if you're trying to make money, and you're trading very heavily in one instrument, I don't know how you divide your attention to using the same account is to go trade crude or something, or go trade gold. I don't know. I guess people do it. I'm too tired to do all that. It doesn't seem to. I'd rather put on one extra. I'd rather get into a bigger size on what I'm watching right now than to go bring up a whole nother chart and have to get my brain around, okay, where's the stop hunt here on the 4-hour chart again? Okay. Like even right now, this rally right here, I'm like, God, let me just get the fuck out of this thing. I'm just under $200 a margin. Okay, here comes the 15-minute traders. I'm closing this. So the 15-minute traders just updated, and boom. We've got a doji. No, we got just like, we're closing the middle of the range. We got a double top. Should we sell? Hell no. Now this is where people get burned. I'm selling this double top. This is resistance up here. I don't know. Like I said, this is going to be scary coming into, and Wednesday's over. It's a swap factor, I suppose. It's Wild Wednesday. Deep discount on the euro today. 15-minute charts updated. We will not buy that. We don't buy ups on the 15. We're not turtle trading this. We've already long enough. We already got into plenty of shit here. We're 52 bucks we're up. One currency. Dollar yen's about to go up, so that's fine. I can't fucking pay attention to two things. So now they're uncorrelated. They're gonna go up together now. It's about the void. It's all about the void. British pound looks like it's ready to rally too. So British pound and euro dollar move in concert quite a bit. That's not unheard of. Here is what I think is the end of the gold market. We can draw a trend line. That's the weekly gold market. Put a fork in it. You're done. It's over. Don't buy gold, people. Buy Bitcoin and put limits on gold, maybe. I like this Bitcoin. I'd like to buy it every 500 pips, every $500 it drops. Start legging into it a little bit. It's going to be some crazy shit here. Why doesn't the... It's just too much fun, man. I mean, this Bitcoin's hysterical. Why don't the banks just buy Bitcoin and fucking hedge the discount window with Bitcoin? What the fuck's going on? The world's coming to an end, can't you see? Yeah, I know. We're all going to die. Okay. Okay, so good luck. I'm going to go get some more beer.